Send in data. Send in data. Oh. There we go. Absolutely wonderful. Brilliant. Incredible. How you doing? How you doing? How's life going? Hopefully amazing, right? Absolutely brilliant. So it looks like the White House group chat got left unlocked. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, Trump, Obama, Iran, China, Kash Patel, DOJ, Melania, Mamdani. Everything spiked. You're not doom scrolling today, wherever you are in the world. You're in the control room. Hit like, subscribe, join the members, and super chat the headline you want me to roast first. All right, let's see. So allegedly, we got our first lady over here paying her husband, POTUS, Donald Trump, a compliment. Let's check it out.
It's not often that we see Donald Trump and his wife Melania laughing together, but it's also rare to hear him compliment the American president. On Wednesday, May 6th, at an event at the White House honoring mayors of American military personnel, Melania Trump opened the ceremony with a speech paying tribute to their courage, while also paying her husband a compliment. That's the audience, and Donald Trump clearly found hard to believe.
No, my husband was the strong commander-in-chief. But his empathy transcended the role and shaped a caring leader who constantly remembers each and every American soldier his child cannot.
There you go. I'm wishing them the best, right? Absolutely. Just incredible. Incredible. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. And we have, what a great outfit. It's a nice thing for her to do, right? Absolutely. We got Mr. Bilzerian, we got John Kirikow, and we got Trump's midnight meltdown, right? We got 50 plus posts in 3 hours, allegedly, around war, Obama, Biden, targeted. Let's see what's going on.
But this time, it was not a policy speech, a campaign rally, or a diplomatic announcement.
Yo, Jodes, the mustache is gone. It'll grow back, brother. Secret agent below. I make... Is that what Melania did? There you go. Yeah, Damage. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good to see you.
It was once again a full-blown social media posting spree. In just over 3 hours, the US president flooded his Truth Social account with more than 50 posts. Most were not new statements. They were reposts, videos, memes, screenshots, and supporter messages. But together, they painted a very clear picture. He was targeting his enemies, reviving old conspiracies, and turning his feed into a political war room. Let's break down what happened. Several of Trump's posts were focused on the Iran war. In one AI-generated image, a US drone was shown destroying Iranian fast-attack boats. Another post depicted a US
N67, how you doing, buddy?
warship shooting down Iranian drones. It was captioned, "Bing, bing, gone." Trump also shared a graphic titled Length of Wars. It compared major US military conflicts by duration. Afghanistan was listed at the longest at 543 weeks, followed by Iraq, Vietnam, and World War II. At the very bottom was a bright red box marked Iran excursion. It claimed the Iran conflict lasted just 6 weeks. Another post, titled 159 Iranian ships, drew a direct contrast between...
Did he post using his Trump phone? I don't know. Does he have a Trump phone? What's going on with the Trump phone?
Trump and his predecessors. The site, labeled Obama Biden, showed Iranian naval vessels operating freely. The site, labeled Trump, showed those same ships destroyed and sunk. And the biggest target of the night, former President Barack Obama. Trump shared at least 17 posts aimed at Obama. Several of them old, debunked claims, including the allegation that Obama ordered Trump Tower to be wiretapped during the 2016 election. But Trump went further, calling Obama a traitor. Other posts of his accused Obama of plotting a coup against Trump. One post even described him as the most demonic force in American politics. Trump also shared an altered image showing Obama, Joe Biden, and Nancy Pelosi inside the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The pool appeared filled with sewage, and Obama was not the only one in crosshairs.
Democrats.
Hillary Clinton was targeted 7 times. Trump also reposted multiple claims about the 2020 presidential election. He shared posts claiming the election was stolen. He amplified false accusations against voting technology companies, and he boosted all conspiracy claims from allies like Michael Flynn and Sidney Powell. In total, at least 11 posts were directly about election fraud. He also turned his fire towards members of his own conservative camp. Trump criticized Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett, both of whom he appointed. He said they had hurt our country after recent legal discussions went against his policy agenda. Then there were the memes. Trump shared AI-generated images.
Maybe that's her second job. You never know. She might be a call center person. Yeah. So he bought the Patriot phone and renamed it. Very, very interesting. There you go. Yeah. Big raise, a ball card saying, still waiting on my Doge check. Where is that Doge check?
Of himself. One showed his face on the $100 bill. Others mocked his rivals. All of this has raised questions related to Trump's fitness for office.
He doesn't seem okay to me, and I know that sounds like a political shot.
It seems like Trump's fit for office. What do you guys think? What do you think, chat? Is he fit for office or no? Not really.
It seems like there's something wrong with the man. The middle of the night obsessive posts seemed crazy.
At recent events, the president appeared tired or closed his eyes during public events. And this, the late-night posting pattern, is adding to a broader debate about presidential fitness. Trump's own supporters in the past have questioned his fitness.
I think we have to truly question the mental stability of any president that threatens to wipe out an entire civilization.
Now, in his defense on Monday, Trump said that he felt the same as he did 50 years ago. Trump, now the oldest person ever elected president, continues to insist he's in excellent shape. The White House has now announced that he will undergo a medical and dental exam later this month at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. It will be his 3rd such visit since returning to office. And as Donald Trump's late-night posts continue to dominate headlines, the questions are no longer just
dominating the headlines. Isn't that what Trump's best at? You know, always just dominating the headlines.
about what he is saying, but what his behavior may be.
Yo, Danny Loesch, Guten Morgen, Deutschland. There you go, buddy. Welcome. Good to see you. Gray Watling saying he's not even fit to be on the planet. There you go.
Be saying about him. And the latest midnight posting spree has once again put his presidential fitness under the spotlight.
Very cool edit. That was a cool edit right there.
Countdown begins to the Trump-Xi summit. Amid the war in West Asia, the world's two largest economies, at odds for years, trillions in trade, tangled in tariffs. A global power contest over technology and Taiwan. The agenda is long, the trust is thin. The world will be watching, and what's at stake for
Very cool edit. Yo, Blop Jones, how you doing, buddy?
India. The news, the nuance, the analysis, all on First Post.
That was really cool. Especially this this intro part was really nice right after this one. There you go. There you go. Nice. Cut out and cut in. What do you think? Is he having a meltdown or no? Golden phones. What do you mean by golden phones? All right, so we got Trump boosts dozens of conspirational posts attacking Obama, Biden, and Hillary. All right, Monday night, Trump's Truth Social account reshared more than 50 posts from right-wing accounts and supporters attacking former Presidents Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and former Secretary of State. Posts also called for the arrest of other prominent political enemies of the president, including former FBI Director James Comey. James Comey, huh? Former CIA Director John Brennan. No refunds. Trump is selling some phones. Should we make an emoji, some golden phones, some Trump phones? Wild times for sure, bro. Trump then boosted multiple posts promoting false conspiracies about voting machines altering the results of the 2020 elections. Oh yeah, we have John Kirikou actually right here, buddy. Should we check that one out now? That's right. Sarah Ustri says, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. That's right. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. He has a golden statue? Really? Trump's golden statue. Is this it? There we go. Kind of looking like Elvis, buddy. Oh yeah, we got the fight, fight, fight. Is that the one you're talking about? Oh, there you go. John even says John Brennan is a piece of S. Hit. There you go, buddy. The real deal gold at Doral in Miami. Put there by great American patriots, President DJT. There you go, man. Good call, bro. There's the golden statue. When was that erected? 5 hours ago. You got another one here? Very cool. Go Trump. I bet it's brass. Trump also reshared a post from his former national security advisor and prominent 2020 election denier Michael Flynn, who wrote, "We had a fake president for 4 years." Our country has yet to recover. Oh, the Mouse 83 saying, "Yo, how you doing, Alex? Good to see you, brother." The Mouse 83 saying, "Money words, guys. You need to learn all the wrong money words being used to disguise what they are doing to people." What are they actually doing? That's what we really want to know. That's the reason we're here. We want to know actually what are they doing over here. Good to see you, Alex. And that message was by the Mouse 83. So nearly all the posts were shared without comment by Trump, but he responded to one of them demanding the DOJ arrest Trump's political enemies for treason, saying they early on Tuesday, nearly 2 hours after his spree of posts. The president attacked a New York Times report about the cost of the Lincoln Memorial, reflecting pool repairs. Earlier on Monday, the Times reported the Interior Department is now preparing to pay $13.1 million for the work, significantly higher than the $1.8 million Trump claimed earlier. User TT joining on the chat. How you doing, buddy? Oh, Captain Black, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Always a pleasure to have you on. Virginia-based Atlantic Industrial Coatings, which previously worked on the swimming pools at Trump's golf clubs, was awarded a no-bid contract for the work last month. All right. Although the Times report makes no mention of Trump's predecessors, the president accused the paper of trying to justify Obama and Biden's expensively botched attempts at fixing. This is so hilarious, man. Do you guys see this right here? This is, come on, do it. Nope. 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 It's not doing it. I'm trying to make it zoom, but it won't zoom. The auto pen. This is Joe Biden's picture. So you got Trump and Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush. Hilarious, bro. Bosch fixing their long broken, unsightly, and unsanitary reflecting pool. Cranky Mullet says, need Congress approval. User TT, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Josh Nicotine says, insane how Trump was allowed to write those plaques. Yeah, what do you guys think about that one? Trump also attacked the Times reporter who covered the story, saying this is not just a paint job. Low-life reporter David Farenthold of the New York Times so inaccurately and maliciously stated it's a deeply complicated work of smart and beautiful construction. The president's post did not mention the Times finding that the cost of construction had risen to $13.1 million, and instead wrote that his plan involves constructing a far superior pool for $5 or $6 million that could be completed in 2 weeks rather than 4 years. 2 weeks rather than 4 years. There you go. Efficiency. Mr. Efficiency. Are they going to be able to swim in the pool? Anyone speak German? Translator needed for Daniel Loesch. Build is met says TDS channel as normal. Your fee dollars at work. These improvements are being completed using your fee dollars. Thank you for your support. Speaking of, become a member. Throw in a super chat. We appreciate your support keeping this channel alive. So on Monday, the Cultural Landscape Foundation, a nonprofit group, sued the Trump administration in federal court to block repair and repainting of the reflecting pool. How does this even make sense? Why Cultural Landscape Foundation, a nonprofit group? Just doesn't make sense. He's trying to make repairs. What's going on with this? In the suit filed before the DC federal court, the plaintiffs argued that the repainting was blatantly unlawful and that the pool's floor dark gray is a deliberate design choice. There you go. There you go. We got Bill Desmet saying host is stupid. Are you allowed to swim in pool? Duh. Oh, we got a lover in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you, Bill Desmet. What color Haterade are you drinking? Cali Chica, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. And please let me know, what color Haterade are you drinking? The filing notes that the dark-colored floor created the illusion of greater depth and a more profound reflection. In a statement, the nonprofit's president and CEO Charles Birnbaum said a blue-tinted basin is more appropriate to a resort or a theme park. So they're arguing about the color? All right. The suit urges the court to block the repair work and restore the pool to its original color. There you go. Trump also got the first ever Peace Prize from FIFA, the soccer world governing body, before the World Cup starts next month. There you go. Yeah. Good way to butter up the United States before they have their huge competition, right? In the Americas. Thank you, Alex Cleary, for dropping in some info in the chat. In another late night posting spree on Truth Social earlier this month, Trump shared a string of bizarre AI-generated images. Oh, Fish Stick, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. Appreciate it. Ada, how you doing? Good to see you. We got Fish Stick by saying everyone needs to learn how to lucid dream and astral project. It is your spiritual birthright, and all religions and elite collaborate to suppress our spiritual abilities. Love is a law. Do you all agree with that? Do you agree with that? Among them was a post depicting the president swimming shirtless in the reflecting pool, along with Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Interior Secretary Doug. There you go. Bergham and an unidentified woman in a bikini. Yeah, Blop Jones dropping in some info. There you go. What do you think about Blop Jones's comment? Blop Jones saying he should focus on important things now. Coins, ballrooms, and reflecting pool colors. It's supposed to reflect, and changing the color probably messes it up. Yo, Terry, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, there we go. Got a little update from Forbes. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, you got to change the color of the pool. So Iran threatens to teach lesson if U.S. attacks. Trump says ceasefire is on life support. Oh, man. Oh, man. So many updates. Iran hangs man accused of spying for Israel. What? There you go. Iran on Wednesday hung a man found guilty of selling information to Israeli intelligence. The judiciary said the latest in a wave of extinguishments during the Mid-East war since the start of the conflict with Israel and the United States in February. Iran has ramped up extinguishments, particularly in cases involving alleged espionage or security-related charges. Do you guys believe in that extinguishment because of espionage or security-related charges? So who was that person? Ehsan Afreshteh, a spy trained by Mossad who sold sensitive information to Israel, has been executed, says the Iranian judiciary Mizan online website. Arrested and tried for espionage and collaboration with the Zionist regime, he was hung this morning after the verdict was upheld by the Supreme Court. It added Iran is the world's second most prolific extinguisher after China. Oh. Can you have a septum piercing in China? Very, very important information. Very important information. Yes, you can get a septum piercing in China. All right, there you go. All of you guys and gals who are voting for communism, you can wear your septum ring in China if you like. On Monday, the country hung an aerospace engineer student who has also been convicted of spying for Israel and the U.S. How dangerous, man. How dangerous. It's so wild. Oh my goodness. May their souls rest in peace, right? All right, so we got Trump departs D.C. for a high-stakes summit with China's XI, J.I., and Ping. Mandy says, oh, that's a hard no on the nose ring. No septum piercing. There you go. Fish Stick Bias says, Trump has said multiple times the military is installing special facilities. Where? Oh, the ballroom is a bunker connected to underground military tunnels. He's not planning on leaving office. Thank you, Fish Stick By. Yeah. User TT says, never understood the nose ring thing. The origins, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Maybe from things like this. Or things like this. There you go. There you go. All right, Trump departs D.C. for a high-stakes summit. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Mandy. Maduro was wearing the tracksuit, the same Nike tracksuit that... Rubio was wearing the same tracksuit Maduro was wearing. That was hilarious. Hilarious. Let's see it. Rubio tracksuit Maduro, same. And there it is. There it is. You got that Nike. That thing's popular. Is Maduro wearing the whole suit, or is he just wearing like the top jacket part of it? Everyone's saying Trump is in good health. Look at him. He's walking great. He's looking good, man. Looking good. Don't remember Biden walking that well. Maybe in his younger years. Who's this? Secret Service. All right, you got 1, 2, 3. All right. Got some good outfits over here going on. Secret Service gals. Why is this thing not working? Okay. Yeah, he's walking well. Come on. What are you guys talking about? We're going live every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat. Become a member. Help keep this channel alive. Oh, we got the red carpet steps. There we go. Beautiful. Nice and that way. Cheers, thumbs up. Here's POTUS. Brilliant color too. It's like a very, very nice color. All right, so we got some analysts, making some predictions on what to expect at Trump and the XI summit in China. He actually looks a bit thinner. There you go. Another fat general. Alex says, I'd love to see inside of Air Force One. Me too, man. Me too. And there we go. We got a little bit of a picture here. This is the older one with Bush. Is that Obama? Yeah, we got Obama in that one. We got this one, an older one, Richard Nixon. Here we go, recent POTUS. Gulf of America. There we go, we got that in the background. Do you guys think it's going to be the Strait of Trump or Trump Strait? Get another one. Oh, we got a smiling Obama. Happy Dems. There we go.
Trump and Beijing have a shared interest in not seeing the conflict in Iran escalate or...
Thank you, Fish Stick. Appreciate it, brother. Oi, oi, saying, come on, man. Biden was so healthy. He fell up the stairs. Mandy says they have already dropped the security cars off in China, but already the limo and armed cars. Yeah. Republic cannot. Republic can't. We got some Russian website jumping in on the chat. There you go. Twitch. Twitch and Kick have bots. Not a fan of those. I'm thinking maybe I should stop streaming to Twitch and Kick, you know. What do you think, Twitch and Kick?
or expand. I think for both countries, they would like the war to end yesterday if possible. It is not serving either country's interest. That's
Nixon. Let's see. What party was Nixon? Is he a Dem? National Republican Party. Republican.
said, I don't think that Beijing feels particularly anxious about events. The longer that the war drags on, in some respects, the more that it benefits China. It keeps the United States distracted away from China's periphery. It leads to further depletion of American munitions and other military resources. And it increases demand for clean energy products, of which China is the world's dominant supplier. Even though I think Beijing abhors the instability and the reduction in global...
What happened to the hater in the chat? The hater in the chat never said what color Haterade he was drinking, or she, or they were drinking.
...demand for its export that the war is creating. I don't think that they feel, this deep anxiety to see something resolved immediately, nor do I expect that they will exercise any type of leverage to try to solve President Trump's problem for him.
So the U.S. is focused on securing quick commercial wins at this upcoming summit. There's a lot of focus on getting China to promise to buy additional U.S. agricultural products, especially soybeans. The U.S. is looking for these quick economic wins that will be felt by certain communities in the U.S.
Farmers for Trump. Yeah, Trump helped the farmers, buddy.
Ideally ahead of November elections, whereas China is looking for concessions.
No, she knows what's happening, right? She knows what's happening. Teach us, woman, teach us. Quit being so rude, man. Quit being so rude. Can y'all just do me a favor and double tap that screen for you? And make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Alex saying, why should China solve Trump's problems? Yeah, seriously. Why should they? Why should they? Yeah, oi oi. Trump better help the farmers if we want to eat. Callie Chica says, I should create a drink called Haterade. Promote that. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Make it like super healthy. That'd be awesome.
On big strategic questions, including on Taiwan. So both sides want stability in the relationship, but beyond that, you see a real...
Cool shot. Mandy jumping in on the chat saying, why do guys keep complaining about the fuel prices? You pay by the gallon. The rest of the world pays per liter. You're last on the world most expensive fuel prices. Out of 193 countries, Australia is one. There you go.
Disconnect in what the two sides are looking to get out of this meeting.
I think that the meeting may be more significant for what it avoids than what it achieves. I think both...
Alex Cleary. Oh, that's to add like super chats. So if you want to like donate to the channel, then yeah, you help us reach the goal, and people can donate whatever they're comfortable donating, and it just helps keep this channel alive. And then Veronica comes out, and Veronica says, thank you, I love you. And she's the best ever. Fish stick, thank you, buddy, appreciate it. Mythicalism, love from Tel Aviv. Me and my IDF buddies watch your live streams together. Oh, cool. Thank you. Hopefully y'all can find peace over there. That'd be amazing. How close is everyone to peace over there? Absolutely, Alex.
Leaders are very committed to trying to prevent a breakdown in the truce that the two leaders have set. They want to avoid escalation and a return to sort of...
Yeah, Andrzej, how you doing, buddy?
Tit-for-tat measures and countermeasures against each other that are mutually harmful. They each, for their own reasons, want to buy time to build insulation against each other.
And there you go. Yeah. All right. So, is this? Yeah. So we have Kash Patel clashing with Van Hollen about drinking allegations. Let's see what happens.
Opening remarks. I really don't care about your personal life so long as you are able to perform your public and official responsibilities, which are awesome responsibilities. Multiple reports, including reporting by The Atlantic, have alleged episodes of excessive drinking, unexplained absences, and behavior that concern current and former FBI and DOJ officials. You have publicly denied those allegations and filed a defamation lawsuit. So today, as you testify before Congress, is it your testimony that those allegations are categorically false?
Unequivocally, categorically false.
So
Kash is like denied every single time. Oh, dude, is he the creator of Cash App? Cashy App? Dang, dude.
there have been no occasions during your tenure when FBI personnel were unable to promptly reach you?
Absolutely not. You can ask my entire workforce. They hear from me at every single hour of the day, as do these great gentlemen here, as do the men and women of the interagency and state and local law enforcement and the White House.
And so there have been no occasions when your security detail had difficulty waking or locating you, is that right?
Nope, it's a total farce. I don't even know where you get this stuff, but it doesn't make it credible because you say so.
I'm not saying it, Director Patel. It's been written and documented.
You are literally saying it.
No, I'm saying that these are reports, Director Patel.
No,
and
unlike your baseless reports, the only person
Patel,
that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you.
You know,
Dang, dude. Just dropping it. Just throwing it back at him, bro. Just not having any of that. Not happy with those statements, right? What do you guys think? Would it be fun to go drinking with Kash Patel? Does he have a drinking problem? What's that song? People say I got a drinking problem. That's a good one. Country music. W's in the chat for country music, or not really? We got Damage Loving Patel. There you go, bro. There you go.
The only person that ran up a $7,000 bar tab in Washington, D.C. at the lobby bar was you.
Dude, Kash, take it easy on Van Hollen. Van Hollen just wants to grab some drinks with you, bro. He's teasing you right now, bro. What is Kash Patel's background? Drinking. Vodka, tequila, Kash Patel, Kashyap. Pramod Vinod Patel was born February 25th, 1980 in Garden City, New York, 9th Director of the FBI. He is first Asian American to hold the position and a Republican with close ties to POTUS Donald Trump. Patel's parents are Gujarati Indian who fled Uganda. Oh, so he's from Uganda. Uganda. And Gujarati Indian. Dem City.
This so the only individual in this room
that
has been drinking on taxpayer dime during the day
polygraphing
is you.
Director Patel, come on. These are serious allegations that were made against you.
Oye says, I never had a drinking problem. Never ran out of scotch. There you go, buddy. There you go.
There are
allegations
lawsuit
are
that
false.
you filed.
You drink.
User TT says, I got a drinking problem. One mouth with two hands.
Margaritas with a gangbanger
Actually,
true and on
it just
video.
goes to show you
running a $7,000 bar tab at the
Hanging out with gangbangers, bro? What? What's Senator Van Hollen's position to be hanging out with gangbangers? Man.
lobby bar has been filed by your own office.
This goes to show
drink during the day. That's you. This
Oh, you ate. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
is the ultimate example of hypocrisy.
Chairman.
I will not be tarnished by baseless allegations
Let me
and
ask
fraudulent
the
statements from the media.
The fact that you mentioned that indicates you don't know what you are talking about. Now, here, Director
The only thing I
Patel,
know is you're the one drinking margaritas with felons.
Actually, that's a false statement, and I'm asking you about your statements.
I've answered that.
And I'm asking you about a particular report. And
It's not a
your
report.
testimony is. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to take the test, it's called the audit test, that members of our active duty military and others take to determine whether they have a drinking problem?
I'll take any test you're willing to take.
I will take it, Director Patel. I'll take it.
Any test you're willing to take after a few drinks, or don't need any drinks?
Take it. You ready to take it?
Let's go.
Yes or no?
Let's go. Side
I'll
by
take it.
side.
Side
I'll
by
take
side.
All right. I think that the fact that you're so have you ordered polygraph tests of members of your team to determine
Yeah, shaken, not stirred.
how that story came about?
The FBI conducts polygraph tests all the time.
No, have you ordered polygraph tests for members of your team to determine who was the source of the stories that I'm asking you about?
I don't order any polygraph tests. There's
You think Kash Patel's an alcoholic or Van Hollen? That red color in his face is. He has had more than a few drinks. Talking about probably Van Hollen right there. Damage.
There's
Both.
an internal
yeah.
inspection review process for any and all leaks, especially of baseless information at the FBI that's been in place for the last 30 years. Those processes are followed by career intelligence and agents on the ground.
So I'll take that as
Yeah, he's either gotten some sun or he's got some red in his face.
a yes, since you said that these were unauthorized disclosures. I have another round of questioning regarding your firing people who were important to gathering intelligence with respect to Iran, but I'll wait for my second round.
Yeah, wait for your second round, dude. Trump on the Strait of Hormuz. This is a recap. Y'all are probably seen this.
We're talking to them. They wanted to close up the strait again, as they've been doing for years, and they can't blackmail us. In fact, a lot of the ships are coming up to Texas. I don't know if you know, in Louisiana, the ships.
So it's absolutely difficult to negotiate with some Iranians, but Can't they just find a way to negotiate, you know? Come on.
Coming up, they got used to it. Maybe they'll keep doing it. It's worked out pretty good.
It's not a lie if you believe it. There you go, user TT.
But it's going
Damage, how did you pass your polygraph? That's interesting.
actually along very well. And we'll see, but we'll have some information by the end of the day. We're talking to them. And, you know, we're taking a tough stand. They've killed a lot of people. A lot of our people have been killed. A lot of your fellow soldiers have been.
Too many. Too many. You guys interested in this Mamdani dude or not too much? He's presenting the 27 executive budget. Yeah. We got that. I have one vertical and I have one horizontal stream, but it's all at one channel. What are you talking about, Mandy? Like a different channel, like with a different www dot. But yeah. Yeah, Terry, for sure. Who cares about like how much they drink? It's like how good are they at their job, right? I think that's what's more important. We're going live every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
So finally, no, we talked a couple months ago.
Yeah, I had a pretty good chat there.
Yeah.
A surprise. What stood out to me was that it seemed like you wanted to talk about the Jewish question.
Yeah. So, Mandy, there's that's the horizontal, and then whatever people say in here, it gets restreamed over there. So if you see like Damage Inc. said something, you said something. If you go back to the horizontal, you'll see that, but it's brought to you by Restream, a bot, and vice versa.
A bit more than Nick, which...
Yeah, that was interesting.
Actually, I got a thing.
I haven't really seen anyone double down on it, except for maybe Fishback.
But did he really, though?
No, that didn't work.
You want to just start rolling? Might as well. Get some shit. So...
I'm going to bring this in closer to you, okay?
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so... Do you feel like Fishback is authentic?
That's a good question. I can't really figure him out. What do you think?
I think he's unequivocally better than who he's running against, so I would vote for him, but something feels slightly off. It just, I don't know, he seems like a politician. That's my read, is like he's saying what he thinks will resonate with the audience, and I don't know. Like, he talks about AIPAC and Israel a lot, which as a, governor isn't really like kind of a Florida issue.
Right.
So it's like if that's really kind of his passion, then it seems strange to run for that office. Also, to me, I think it's deeper. I think it's a Jewish supremacy problem. I don't think that it's an Israel AIPAC problem. I think those are kind of like these triggers, right, that people respond well to, but there's like a lot deeper issue. And so I think just talking about AIPAC and Israel all the time seems like a touch point. It doesn't seem like somebody that's like really passionate about it,
I guess when you think about the maybe first, second, third order effects of that kind of rhetoric, like what do you think it causes?
What do you mean by that? Like,
I guess if someone running for politics in the Florida, like running for governor within Florida, talking about a more international and widely domestic issue, like what do you think would be maybe his goal?
Well, to get elected, right? I think a lot of people saw what happened with
Waffle Jackson jumping on the chat. How you doing, buddy?
Mamdani, right? And I think a big catalyst to him winning was him saying that he's just not going to go to Israel. And everybody's like, oh God, you hear this guy's not going to go to Israel? You know, and it's like, well, the guy before him was like, oh, I'm going to take my 5th trip to Israel. The guy before is like, oh, I'm going to take my 4th trip to Israel. And he's just like, I'm going to focus on the 5 boroughs. And everybody's like, oh my God, he's how anti-Semitic. You know what I mean? It was just like this kind of fake outrage. And I think a lot of those people are in echo chambers where their donors are talking and other influential people in New York or whatever. And this idea that you would not be catering to Israel is so foreign to them that they didn't understand that that's actually going to really resonate with New Yorkers that don't give a fuck about a foreign country and don't want to send their tax dollars there. And so it seems like a little bit of a, you know, page out of that playbook, but maybe not, you know, maybe it's authentic and maybe he just really cares about Israel.
I will say the one thing that I found strange is that James Fishback wasn't listed on the, what was it, top 10 most anti-Semitic influencers around the world.
That's a hard hill to climb. Not many of us in the
I mean, you were ranked
circle.
You were ranked number 1 above Tucker, Candace, and Nick Fuentes as the most dangerous anti-Semite on earth. Like, what do you think you said that made Israel rank you number 1?
Well, I think I focus on the Jewish supremacy problem and I don't talk about Zionism and I don't hide from the issue. And I think I talk about the deeper problems with the issue. I'm also running for Congress. I'm the only one actually fucking doing something about this, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of people talking about it. And now talking about it makes you a lot of money. So, you know, when I started doing this, it'd get you killed, you canceled, like all this shit. And now it's kind of like a career. It's a TikTok trend. Like people are doing it to get views. That's just weird. I mean, I'm happy about it. Like that's great for people's awareness. But I think it takes a little bit away from some of the authenticity of people wanting to fix the problem instead of just profiting from talking about the problem. And I want to fix the fucking problem. I'm done talking about it.
Is he a fan of Israel, of Iran? Man, it's wild what's going on with what people like and dislike, honestly. I should do a small mohawk. Yeah. And then what? I won't be able to put my headphones on with the mohawk. It's the money over freedom, says Don Mitch. Waffle Jackson says, all this blame Israel stuff creates a blind spot for China. What do you mean it creates a blind spot for China? Thank you for the chat, buddy. Oh, by the way, we're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Like it's all talked out. Talked about this for 2-3 fucking years now. We've said everything. Everybody gets it. Like, look at the comments. Like 97% are in support of what I'm saying. So people understand. Like everybody knows. Everybody knows, but they're just like whispering around about it. Nobody really wants to fucking talk about it. Tucker knows exactly what the fuck's going on, but he doesn't like really want to dive into the cause. He doesn't want to talk about, you know, that whites are being fucking genocided, really. I mean, if you look at what is happening, it's an attack on the white community. Like this whole DEI, this open border, this melting pot idea, this, you know, kind of white guilt, this white supremacy is the greatest threat to America, like all that rhetoric come from the Jewish media, that's an attack on being white, which is kind of whatever, but it's a serious attack. And then they're also attacking masculinity. And then in every movie, the white guy is this cucked out beta male and his wife's cheating on him and he's apologizing for it and he's trying to win her back, you know? It's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then there's like 30% gays in movies, you know, and it's like half black and it's like, I don't care, you know, have your diversity, whatever, but like make it realistic. I mean, I watched a movie where they had a woman as a Navy SEAL, a black woman as a Navy SEAL. She weighed about 100 pounds, looked like a fucking model. Like, first of all, like hardly any black guys get through SEAL training, you know, maybe because they're not great swimmers, whatever. Maybe they don't, you know, most of them don't sign up for it. But the point is there's been very few, you know, like I think I know most of the black SEALs. Like I'm friends with most of them, and there's not many. And there's never been a woman Navy SEAL. So to cast a black woman as a Navy SEAL, like it just completely took me out of the movie because it's complete bullshit. And it's not about whether or not, you know, it's a woman or a man or black or white. It's just like she couldn't do the job. You know, a 100-pound woman couldn't carry.
What is Tommy March?
carry out somebody if they got shot. Like, she's combat ineffective. She couldn't even carry the loadout. Like a typical Navy SEAL carries an 80-pound loadout. That's like her whole fucking body weight. So it's just ridiculous. But they don't care, you know? And I can't even watch movies anymore. There's just like so much propaganda baked into them that they make it unwatchable. And so, yeah, I'm upset about that, you know? And I'm upset that we can't talk about these things. And I'm upset that Jews are in a victim category when they are the most privileged class in the entire world. So, you know, let's talk about that. Let's talk about like what's actually fucking going on instead of like skirting all these issues and talking about Zionism or whatever, because Jews were attacking Christians long before Israel's inception. The Bolshevik genocide, that was before Israel. That was Jews killing Christians in like record numbers, you know, 30 to 60 million of them. They destroyed almost all the Christian churches in an 80-something% Christian Russian country. So, and that's not disputed. You look on Chat GPT and it'll tell you, you know, they're only like 5 or 10%. But then you look at like real sources, like Putin said it was 84%. Alexander.
Yeah, that's so wild how the movies just kind of, they used to be good. Movies used to be really, really good.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn said it was like massively overrepresented Jewish. Hitler said it. You want to throw out him, fine. But how about Churchill? He wrote Zionism versus Bolshevism, Struggle for the Jewish Soul. And he talks about there very distinctly that the Bolshevik movement was massively disproportionately led by Jews. And that was a Jewish movement. And what did they do? They made it illegal to be Christian and illegal to criticize Jews.
I guess like when you look at right now, what's the biggest lie being told in 2026? Hey, quick question. How many different AI tools are you using right now? Customers and your business AI 2026?
Oh man, we're being told so many lies. The biggest lie. I mean, like I said, where do you start? How do you define big, right? I mean, like,
true.
You know, everything that they told us about why we started this Iran war is a lie. Like it wasn't about, you know, nuclear weapons. They had a fought one 2004 saying they would never have nuclear weapons. They killed the guy that agreed to never have nuclear weapons. They killed the negotiator that agreed to sign in that they would never have nuclear weapons. They allowed all the inspections. They had the JCPOA. Like there was no threat of them creating a nuclear weapon. They were not enriching uranium. It was all lies. And we heard these same lies for 35 years. 2 more weeks. They're a week away from having a nuke. For 35 years, we're told this bullshit. And
thank you, Waffle Jackson. Appreciate it, buddy. Waffle Jackson says the Tommy March is the Unite the Kingdom March, addressing the immigration problem.
And when you look at the people that
Don Mitch says AI is going to complete the destruction. Yeah, they're already doing a lot of wild things with the AI.
You know, agreed to not have nukes. What happened to them? Gaddafi, Saddam, you know, like these people were murdered. And Kim Jong-un has nuclear weapons, will not allow any nuclear inspections, has not signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and we can't attack him. Why? Because he has fucking nukes. So what are you telling people? Like, go get nukes or we're going to kill you. And so this whole thing of like we had to stop them from creating a nuke was total bullshit. That was the justification for bombing them. And according to Trump, we stopped their ability to create nukes for years and years because we bombed them so effectively. And yet here we are 7 months later attacking them for some reason to prevent them once again from acquiring these nukes that they've never had and that they agreed not to have. And so how effective is it to kill their supreme leader, who, by the way, to them is like the Pope? So you're killing not only their leader, but their religious leader. And this is Shia Muslims that believe that if they die in combat or die, you know, doing what is right, that they are going to the greatest level of heaven. So you take the most extreme religious group and you kill their leader, and then you put his son in. And you don't just kill the leader, you kill the family too. Then you put the son in there. And that's supposed to make us more safe?
Right.
Like, how fucking ridiculous is that?
Who do you think this war benefits the most?
Israel. That's the only country that wants the war.
Does it benefit America in any way?
It's absolutely horrendous for us. It's horrendous for the GCC. I mean, it's horrendous for our allies. It's just like it's bad for everyone. And I don't think people understand like the potential fallout effects of this. You know, they're seeing it at the pump, but like this could literally end the world. Like it could literally end the world. I mean, if Israel decides to fire some of their illegally acquired nukes that they're not supposed to have, that they don't allow nuclear inspections, you know, then Russia's going to retaliate. You know, North Korea said they might retaliate. You know, China. Who knows? I mean, it just brings everybody in, and and for what? Like, what do we have to gain here?
Pretty
To
scary
topple
there.
a regime? Like, how successful have been the regimes that we toppled previously? Like, has there ever been a successful one? Has there ever been one where we toppled the regime and the people were better off for it? I don't remember any.
Dan, you're a world-class poker player, likely an expert in game theory. I mean, if you were going to try to imagine what Trump's mindset is around all this, like, what would you think it is?
I think he's blackmailed, and I think that he is trying to make as much money for himself and his family as possible. I think this presidency was a necessity for him. He had 36 felony charges. I don't think he was doing very well financially. You look at where he's at now versus where he was at the start of this presidency. And I think their net worth and his family's net worth has, you know, more than doubled. So I think he is doing what is in the best interest for himself. The problem is when you have a leader of your country that is focused on what's best for him and the people that donated millions of dollars to him for benefit of a foreign country, you get bad shit.
Yeah, that's a little weird that Trump is doing so well and making so much money while he's in office. But also, if it's true that the election was stolen from him, he's probably going to make the best out of it. You know, just take advantage of the situation. I'm not saying that's right, but
For the United States, it should come as no surprise that we are going to pay the price for that.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Professor Zhang's work. We had him on the podcast. Have you seen any of his stuff?
Well, I've seen some of his.
Bristol Rovers jumping in the chat saying Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria are examples of USA successes.
Stuff. And I saw Mehdi Hassan go out.
Thank you for your chat, buddy. We're going live every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
After him pretty hard, trying to discredit him, go after him saying that he's not a real professor, and kind of remind me of Piers Morgan approach. I lost a lot of respect for Mehdi in that interview. I think that a lot of what he's predicted has been pretty impressive, and he tried to discredit him in every way, shape, or form on the interview. He's a lot nicer than I was. I would have told him to go fuck himself, you know?
What do you make of his whole theory that Trump is a mastermind behind all of this and is kind of listening to people like Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and doing as they say in an attempt to maybe end this war 2 years from now and take all the credit for it?
I don't see him as a mastermind at all. I know him. I know people that know him. He's not an idiot, but he's not a genius either. He's good at marketing. He understands like what people are going to respond to, and that's a skill set. That's a type of intelligence. But him being like an overall, 5D chess player, whatever this bullshit that they say is, this is not true. He's compromised, and he did not want to go into the Iran war. He did not want to do that. I think he had to do that. And if you look at his historical tweets, I mean, he talks shit about people for, potentially doing that or thinking about doing that. Word for word. And it's funny because he's doing all the things, he took money from the Adelsons, and he had, said previous tweets about how, if people take money from them, it's corruption and whatever. So he's doing all the things that
There you go. And he just brought up Piers. So let's see what Piers has to say about
I've asked repeatedly,
Nice little moment for a segue.
Israeli guests, pro-Israeli guests, why is it that as we talk about Iran not being allowed to have a nuclear weapon, why is it that Israel is consistently allowed and given a pass?
He just mentioned that too, which is very wild.
To never say whether it has a nuclear weapon or not.
I know the answer to that question. It's illegal for America to give aid to Israel if they're
That's wild, right?
Nuclear weapon state that has not signed the non-proliferation treaty. So they lie and they give this strategic ambiguity and pretend they don't know that Israel is a nuclear weapon state. That way.
Piers Morgan, if you're watching this, user TT is just joking, I'm sure. I'm sure he's just joking.
Conspiracy nothing. It's the Glenn Symington law. It says it's illegal to give them aid if they're a nuclear weapon state that does not sign the NPT.
There you go, man. Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy, bro.
Did he talk shit about?
So, yeah, it would be illegal for the United States to give Israel money if they, yeah, you guys heard it.
And I think that he is an extreme narcissist, and I don't think that he has any allegiance to the truth whatsoever. And that's one of the reasons why I think our politics are so fucked, is because our politicians do not care about telling the truth. They have no accountability, and there's nothing that's going to happen if they don't. Like, if they just lie and don't tell the truth, the fuck does it matter? Like, what are we going to do?
We've seen over the past year the Iran war start. Over the past a few years ago, we were told that Epstein deleted himself, and we were told Charlie Kirk was killed by a lone shooter. What do you make of that last one?
The Charlie Kirk? Well, I don't believe his wife in any way, shape, or form. She was celebrating hat sales gleefully a week after his gory murder on national television. She's got a family with this guy. Her WWE entrance into the Turning Point events with fucking fireworks and her jumping up and down, like, does not seem like a grieving widow at all. If you look at her past, it doesn't align with who she pretends to be. I don't believe her at all. I think she's...
We got Don Mitch jumping in on the chat saying, I believe Israel gives America much needed intel also in between the two current leaders. Yeah, absolutely. Israel and America are so closely intertwined. It's just like, they might as well be siblings, you know? It's like, it's so wild. So, yeah. I don't know. I hope there's peace. That's what I hope. Absolutely. Hopefully they can find peace and, you know.
She's a total piece of shit.
Have you met her?
No.
Have you met him?
I talked to him previously, obviously. Yeah.
Terry jumping in on the chat. Professor Jiang is really good. His channel is called Predictive History and High Levels Analysis. I look forward to it every week. Nice, bro. Nice. Do you have any videos you could recommend? Shout out to Professor Jiang. By the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat, become a member, help this channel survive.
I think she's a total honeypot. I look at guys like that, you know, guys like him, Kash Patel, these guys that get into positions of power that haven't probably hooked up with a lot of girls. And what's the easiest way to control them? Put a woman in there, you know, put a woman in there that, you know, this whole happy wife, happy life stuff, you know, they tell you, you know, you got to make your wife happy and this and that. And, you know, Hollywood tells you that, you gotta, respect the wife. And I agree. You have to respect your wife and you should treat her with respect. But I think the man should be in charge of the relationship. I believe in masculinity. I believe in femininity. However, what you have in a lot of these relationships, because of this promotion of like a boss bitch and whatever, you have these very dominant women that come in and society seems to kind of like applaud that.
Nice. User TT says Victor Davis Hansen is a good listen to. Nice, man.
And then they come in and they've got kind of free reign to control these guys. And it doesn't seem like the guys are ever held accountable for it. It seems normal. It's been very normalized. And so what better way to control a guy than, to have his wife kind of like telling him what to do? She gets to hear all the intimate secrets. She knows exactly what's going on.
Would you guess that's the standard playbook for control?
seems like the easiest way, you know.
All right, let's give Victor Davis Hanson a little listen. Let's see what's happening over here.
And we have somewhere between 10 to 12 million illegal entries. We don't know if the entry is equivalent to a person, but it was probably 8 to 10 million people. And the Yale study of 2019, 6 years ago, said all of the estimates are wrong, and there's more likely 21 million people. Let's say average another 3 or 4 million, 25, plus we probably have 35. We know we have 53 million foreign born. So it wouldn't be unusual to have 35 million of them here illegally. When you have people who have never had the American experience and they don't know anything about your culture, your language, and you decide to let in millions in one big fell swoop, then you better have a Marshall Plan for civic education.
That's absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate. I think that's if you want the correct approach. But with this mass migration, immigration situation, I don't think that's the reason. The reason they're doing this and pushing these people, creating these wars and bringing these immigrants over to new lands is to create unrest, to create problems and trauma, because through chaos, certain things can happen, because of their eyes are someplace else rather than where they should be. Kind of like DEI, but just without the E. Distraction.
At every Walmart, at every Home Depot, at every Target, we have a little booth where you sign up for English lessons and tutorials about the American experience, but we don't. You walk 1 inch into the United States, you have claims against the racist country. That's a disaster.
And that's absolutely true, bro. That is absolutely true. Yeah. You see the truth there. What a good share, man. I'm gonna, where is that dude? Give that dude a subscription. This guy. Beautiful picture. That is Victor Davis Hanson. I can share his thing here. Maybe. Bam. We like to support other channels too, man. We support everybody. We're trying to develop the best community over here, so thank you. And we're also trying to get some pictures of this type of stuff because this makes us very happy. Dems are allowed to be in here. Conservatives are allowed to be in here. Everyone's allowed to be in here. We're all friendly.
Finger on the pulse. I mean, I'd rather have, a wife planted in with somebody, living with them, spending every minute with them, than I would tapping their phone. You're going to find out a lot. People usually confide.
Yeah, Wonder Bucket says if they make a movie about Victor David Hanson, they should get John Malkovich to play him. They look and sound so similar. Yeah, John Malkovich. Funny dude. Funny dude. Weird, quirky actor, man. The Mouse 83 says, migratory erasure. That sounds about accurate. Jared B saying, is to incite conflict. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what these bastardos are doing. For sure. But you know one thing, the Lord knows, the Lord sees. Yeah, we got a Discord. I can, you can join the Discord. It's on my YouTube channel. I'll send a link if you want it. But it's on the, yeah. And if you want, you can add some videos there and do all those types of things. And yeah, get involved with the community, making the best community ever on the internet.
And their wife, people usually, if you're going to marry a girl, you probably love her, trust her. Most people wouldn't marry somebody they don't trust or love or whatever. So if I would want to control somebody, you've got blackmail, and then you've got, putting a kind of a handler in there, and what better handler than a wife? Sometimes it's a manager for a,
fun buddy,
musician or whatever, but the wife would probably be, especially if the guy wasn't a super dominant guy and hadn't had a lot of experience with women and felt like he was kind of dating out of his league and he didn't want to lose this one and whatever, that woman would probably have a massively disproportionate amount of control.
You tweeted hours after Charlie Kirk was killed last September, Charlie Kirk figured it out. Rest in peace. What did he figure out?
Thank you.
Well, I think that was posted with a video of him talking about the NGOs pushing open borders that were massively disproportionately funded by Jews, like George Soros and Zuckerberg and people like that are really pushing for this open border melting pot idea. And he also talked about, well, obviously in the text messages, he talked about supporting Israel. And I figured that was coming because Charlie Kirk liked the open debates and he liked showing up, and it's really hard to defend Israel. It's a very hard defense. I mean, really all you have is like you can point to some of the Old Testament stuff and say that, he wasn't really talking about, Abraham. He was talking about, the country of Israel today with Netanyahu running it. You know what I mean? Like it's just such a stretch. And now that the Talmud has been translated and everybody can read it, the passages are out there, it's really damning. And it's also hard to defend a religion that says that your Lord and Savior is burning in hell and human shit. Or I guess there's an argument in there, not all the Talmudic rabbis say that. There's an argument. Some say that he's burning in semen and some say that he's burning in shit.
Oh my God.
But net effect is he's in hell burning in something bad. And that his mother was a whore, Virgin Mary. So I find it difficult as a Christian to kind of like wrap your head around how you and also those are the people that killed Christ as well. And I believe the covenant was broken in the New Testament. So arguing that we should just send our tax dollars over there to fund a foreign country to help kill a bunch of Palestinians, because he also knew that too. He talked about that, how there was a stand down order, how Israel is like the size of New Jersey. It's like the most heavily surveilled. There's snipers everywhere. Like there's no way that this happened without them knowing and taking 6 hours to respond. And then when they did respond, killing their own citizens. Like if you understand what's going on, it's literally indefensible. I mean, you could defend it against an idiot that doesn't know, but you're not going to be able to defend it against somebody that's like actually done the research. Like I would have smoked him in a debate, smoked him. He wouldn't have had a prayer. And I'm not like a geopolitical guy, I don't like go to colleges and do debates all the time, but I would have wrecked him. And I think he recognized that he was going to lose his base if he continued with this. And that's why a lot of people flipped on it, Piers Morgan even flipped. It's just, they know it's a losing battle. And if they lose their base, it doesn't matter if the network likes them. If they don't have an audience, then they're fucking irrelevant and they're out of a job. So there's a self-preservation mechanism that kicks in there. And that's what happened with Piers. It's not like he had some like moral alignment with the truth. He just realized that he was going to lose his base and then he's going to be out of a fucking job. And whether or not he pleased, the people that owned his studio or not, like they weren't going to keep him around if nobody's listening to him. So Charlie was going to get there. I mean, he said it in the text. And so what better time to kill somebody than before they change their mind? I mean, like imagine if he came out and said,
we got Jared B jumping down the chat saying Dan's got his own big issues. What are those issues? Would like to hear about those. Oh, Dan got successful because of Daddy. There you go.
Israel is, not an ally of the United States. We should not be supporting them. They couldn't kill him then because it looked really fucking bad. And the other thing that he was pretty adamant about and talked to Trump about numerous times, that we shouldn't be fucking going to war with Iran. And Eric Kirk knew that, and she's pushing for the war in Iran. So the least she could do for her husband's legacy is not go against the thing that was like one of the most important things to him, because he personally talked to Trump about this on numerous occasions. So
it's interesting. It seems like one of the only ways to gauge some sort of truth, like hitting on some sort of truth, is if you get negative pushback for it. Like if you say one thing in, I don't know, your Instagram gets deleted. You say one thing, a post gets taken down. You say one thing and, I don't know, someone comes to your house with a crossbow. Like what have been the things that you have said or talked about that you've gotten?
If Cranky Mullet says, I can't take the dude seriously, we got an issue. Gator Chris says his whole Joe Rogan Experience interview was him lying. Oh, are you talking about Dan Bilzerian? I didn't see that. I don't think I've seen that one. Joe Rogan, Dan Bilzerian. Was it a good one? Would you recommend?
Particular amounts of backlash for?
Well, I think the fuck Israel was probably one of my early aggressive stances on this issue, and it got me kicked off the board of my company. My business manager tried to extort me. My lawyer told me that I had to, take it down. She tried to get me to step down off my company. She tried to have me issue an apology, walk it back. I had tons of my Jewish friends call me and try and, change my mind. And that's actually, the funny thing is I wasn't like anti-Jewish supremacy, or I wasn't like one of these, it was like a much more narrow issue initially. It was just like, fuck Israel and fuck our support of Israel. Like, what are we doing? That was where this started. And when I saw how many Jews were just blindly supportive of Israel, I guess not blindly, like for them, for a Jew, it's very different. Like, you have to understand, they can just same day go get a passport. They can be an Israeli citizen. They can go diddle a little 14-year-old boy in town and flee to Israel, and Israel won't send them back. So they basically have.
Thank you for the recommendation, Jared B. Appreciate it. All right, Gator Chris.
Like a get out of jail free card for pedophilia or whatever fucked up things they want to do. And so they just have a baked in foreign allegiance to this country that they've also been told is like the Jewish homeland or whatever this narrative is. Like, I don't think like every Jew is like nefarious or in on this, obviously.
That's cool. At least he said that, right? At least he said that. We got a funny one here, and we like to mix it up a little bit and just to throw some things in here, just to kind of lighten up the mood once in a while, so it's not too heavy. This is trolling, because some people like to troll. Am I here? Yeah. Okay. Engage the trolling. Let's see what's happening.
Means here IDK. What's all that about? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I mean, what do you mean? You just said you don't know. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna have to Google it then, aren't I?
What do you mean you're gonna have to? It means I don't know.
All right, you've told me you don't know.
Oh my god, I'm telling you, it means I don't know.
Right, she goes again. Fucking Nicholas Rage. When's your next movie?
You're all right in the end, pal.
I'm asking you a question. You sat saying I don't know.
You ask me what IDK means. It means I don't know.
I know. You've just told me. You've just told me what. You've just told me you don't know.
It means I don't know.
Is there anything?
It means you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Settle down, the Incredible Sulk. Fucking hell, there's no
Man,
need.
fuck off.
Yeah, but I'm so confused what Daisy means here. IDK. What's all that about?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I mean, what do you mean? You've just said you don't know. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna have to Google it then, aren't I?
What do you mean you're gonna have to? It means I don't know.
All right, you've told me you don't know.
Oh my god, I'm telling you, it means I don't know.
Right, she goes again. Fucking Nicholas Rage. When's your next
Nicholas
movie?
Rage.
Right in the end, pal.
I'm asking you a question. You sat saying I don't know.
You ask me what IDK means. It means I don't know.
I know. You've just told me. You've just told me what. You've just told me you don't know.
It means I don't know.
Is there anything?
It means you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Settle down, the Incredible Sulk. Fucking hell, there's
Man,
no need.
Fuck off.
Yeah, but I'm so confused.
It means I don't know. I don't know. There you go.
There's plenty of good Jews out there, plenty of them that aren't in on this fix, aren't part of the cabal, whatever. But they are generally tribal. And what I've found is that their religion is basically at odds with Christianity, and I didn't know that. They look at Christians as idol worshipers, and their Talmud says that you should kill idol worshipers, and that's why they spit on Christians in Israel. So I was unaware of a lot of this, but when you start like understanding and like it's okay for them to lie, cheat, and steal from Gentiles, then it's like, okay,
dang,
now it kind of makes sense. I mean, the whole like word Jew me is synonymous with like fuck me over. It's like, you know, nobody says like don't Muslim me or don't Christian me. And so I don't think that's an accident. And people get stereotypes for a reason. Not always true, but I think there's some truth in most stereotypes, especially ones that have existed for thousands of years. And I think it's important that we talk about this stuff and not just be fucking silenced all the time, because they have no problem talking about all the negative things about Muslims and how Muslims are, according to Randy Fine, lower than dogs, and, we should basically just kill them all and whatever. And yeah, that seems to be fine. Bill Maher says on national television, Islam is the mother lode of bad ideas, like just basically insulting 2 billion people. But if you were to say something bad about Jews, God help you. These poor struggling victims that are like more than 50% of the billionaires in the United States and crushing everything, and 90-something% of Hollywood and running the media and whatever, like, then you're anti-Semitic.
See, this is the part that confuses me. I have a guess at the answer to it, but like, people make the claim Jews are in positions of power, they're running everything, Israel is a super powerful nation. In game theory terms, wouldn't it make sense for America to want to have them as an ally? But I'm guessing your view of it is that the relationship is more parasitic than like synergy there,
Well, yeah, I mean, they're sucking the money out of the economy. They're not putting it back in. They're funneling it out to a foreign country. We're fighting foreign wars for the benefit of that country. Half of our national debt can be chalked up for support of Israel and wars fought for Israel.
But where does that money go?
Well, according to Brown University, $8 trillion went to the Iraq War, which was fought on behalf of Israel. Netanyahu came and lobbied and testified in front of Congress that they had weapons of mass destruction, which they absolutely did not. He talked about numerous times how if we topple the regime, it'll have positive reverberations throughout the region. You remember those interviews? And so, yeah, I mean, that is a result of their influence, their bad information, which we've somehow received a lot of. And so, yeah, when you can chalk up half of your national debt, $20 trillion, because you have to add the compounding interest. None of the money that we gave them, we had just sitting around. That was all money that we borrowed. We've been in debt for a long time. And so, yeah, and you have to add the compounding interest to that $8 trillion that's now flushed down the toilet with no benefit. And yeah, I would say that they are not our greatest ally.
Now, like you said, while most people are just talking about these kinds of issues now, and you've even noted that some people talk about it as a trend or to simply make money. Last month you tweeted, quote, "I'm going to run against fat fuck Rand."
Oh man, I'm just thinking about like which comments can I read and which comments can I not read. We're going live every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Oh, man.
Randy Fine for Congress. Dan, you're 45, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You could spend your life on a beach, not have to do any of this. Instead, you're running for Congress against a guy Trump endorsed 3 times. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I've been blessed, man. I've gotten everything I ever wanted, like beyond measure. So I don't know. I think what I came to realize is that hedonism didn't really give me long-term happiness. It was short pleasure spikes, which were fun. I will not tell you that they weren't. But it's fleeting, kind of like, example I always give is like, if I gave you heroin right now, you'd feel good. Feel great, but that wouldn't be the answer, like that's not a positive thing. That's how I look at hedonism and pleasure seeking. It will be fun. You will have a good time fucking hot girls and driving fast cars and doing all that shit. But eventually you get bored of it. And that's what I found is that the things that made me happiest was like, I don't know, helping other people, hanging out with my friends, like doing more stuff that, the funny thing is didn't really cost much money. And they always told me that as a kid. And I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, fuck you. Like, give me the money. But I don't know, man. I'm telling, I really think that our country is like at a crossroads right now. Like, I think if we don't take back control of this thing, I think we are fucked.
But that's very true. Like a lot of people are just so driven by the money thing. You know, like I need a lot of money. I need to be successful. I need to get the cars. I need to get the girls, all that type of stuff. And then once they get them, they're like, you know what? That's not really making me happy. Not at all. You know, when I could be doing so much more with my life, even though that's pretty fun, I guess, for a little bit. But it's almost like a shallow situation, right? Fun nonetheless, but very shallow. Allegedly. We've got Veronica's friend. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's see.
Did anyone drop a
She's
super
not
chat
talking.
or
You
become
can see
member
her,
yet?
but she's not really talking.
Please support this channel. Drop.
Come on.
Did anyone?
Nope.
Did anyone drop a super chat or
Can
become
you hear
member
it?
yet?
All right.
Please support this
Whatever.
channel. Drop a super chat and become a member.
Funny girl. Funny girl.
Like beyond fucked. I think we're just going to be like slaves to Jewish supremacy with Palantir, with the surveillance, with this digital currency, all this stuff. Like the money's being.
Oh, you guys hear her? Oh, cool. How did Dan make his millions? I think he made it through gambling and those types of things. I don't know for sure, but wife, get off the screen. Seriously, bro. We got Gator Chris jumping on the chat saying, let's not forget Obama was so highly involved in the Iraq-Afghan war. Yep. Yep. Jared saying, don't page me, bro. Don't page me.
Being sucked out of this economy. Like Americans today are worse off than they were 50 years ago. That's never happened before. Like every 50 years, usually you're like better. And we've had all this technological innovation. Like this cell phone right here, if I had that 20 years ago, like I'd rule the world, you know, like that was more powerful than any like supercomputer or whatever. And so we have all this technology, like basic needs should be met. The average person should be doing good, but like Americans are in debt, like really bad. And we don't have health care. We've got, you know, homelessness. We've got all these problems.
You guys are taking pictures.
And it's unnecessary. Like, I don't think people understand how good the world would be if our government functioned for the people and not for the people that were running it. And that's what we have right now. We have the government basically this big, bloated, inefficient.
Guys, sorry, nature calls, and I gotta refresh my drink, so I will be back in like 5 minutes, and we're gonna have
You guys are
background.
taking pictures and printing them.
So yeah, this camera is on the weight. It is to bring back the vintage vibes to digital cameras. So it's a digital camera that has virtual rolls of 24 photos each. As soon as the 24 shots are completed, so the roll is completed, if you set up automatic printing in the app, they are automatically printed and delivered to your home. So it's kind of reliving the moment when you get them. It's kind of like instant cameras, but without the instant. So you essentially sweep the moment when you relive the photo, and you get nicer prints for half the cost of Polaroids. And when you travel, you just bring this along, so it's much smaller. You don't have to buy the cartridges ahead, and every 24 you know that they're going to be printed. If you want to turn off the printing service, it's totally fine. You can just use the camera as a digital camera, and you will see the digital photo on your phone. And then you can manually decide what to print and what not to print.
Very cool.
So we are connected with print shops all around the world, and so it will be printed locally and shipped to your home directly.
Very nice. And what inspired this idea?
We wanted like to get off our phone a little bit while traveling, and we noticed that when we were shooting photos with our phone, we end up having like thousands of photos that we end up like never seeing again because they just end up buried behind. And so with this camera, we try to do the selection of the photo beforehand. So before you shoot, you know that it's going to be printed, and so you maybe make a little effort to. And it's also a nice gadget to carry around during travel because it's not too big, so it's not bulky. It's about the size of a MagSafe power bank, as you can see. So it's easy to carry around. It has a real flash, so it's not LED. So it's a real xenon flash. So when you shot the image, you can see how bright it is, and that gives that feel, that kind of
vintage
effect.
flash look,
vintage flash look. And you can also change the color of the camera. It snaps magnetically, like just
Very
like that.
cool. And what's the image sensor size of that one?
So it's 8 megapixels.
8 megapixels.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's kind of like lo-fi, but without being too low quality.
Very cool. It's good enough.
Yeah, good enough for 4x6 prints for sure.
Yeah.
And also to like share on social networks.
Yeah, very
It's a good enough sensor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if people are interested in this, where do they go to purchase it or learn more?
So it's right now it's await.camera, but it's not launched yet. We're gonna launch a Kickstarter campaign in March this year, and then it's gonna be available in stores probably and online, Amazon and our site. So await.camera.
Await.camera. Go check it out. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Carlo. You're Dr. Lorenzo.
Yeah,
All
nice to
right.
meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Turn the sound up, because this is how a margarita is supposed to begin. Tequila mandala, anejo, top shelf, poured like a promise. Then the bright part, fresh lemons, hand squeezed, not from a jug, not from a mix, alive. This is the move most people never get, a house-made secret. Shaken in metal like thunder. Ice hits glass, strained like silk, bold and dangerously easy. Dry Society Bar, Kaleidoscope, Mission Viejo. Come taste it, done right.
organization that is helping to funnel money from U.S. citizens into corrupt people's pockets. That's what it is. Like, that's where we're at right now, is like the government, the country is not functioning for the best interest of the people. And so if we don't have people that get into office and fix this, then we're going to have more problems. I mean, in Florida right now, they passed anti-Semitism laws. There's a girl facing 15 years right now.
We got Papa SN or Papa SN saying they both sell fights for different reasons. Yeah, but I think Connor's incredible. But Sean Strickland is the current guy. Like, he's the man that sells the fights for sure. Absolutely incredible. And Mickey Mace, I was just reading the chats. What do you guys think about that guy? Was he actually really banned, or is that just marketing and all those types of things?
Right now for making a joke in a group text about Netanyahu, and coincidence, the judge is Jewish. You know, she left.
For sure. Connor, like in his prime, Connor was just unreal, man. Just unreal. Actually, one of his first was against massive marketing campaigns against Aldo. I was like, I don't like this guy. I really didn't like Connor because he was just disrespecting Aldo, disrespecting all of Brazil, and just going so hard. And then after, you're like, man, you gotta love this guy, dude. He's just hilarious, dude. So I don't know. I think Connor kind of grew on me a little bit. But absolute beast in his prime. Just entertaining fighter, man. So entertaining.
Let off some fucking violent offender who just went out and re-offended.
Yeah.
But yet now she wants to throw the book at this girl that made a joke in a group chat because it was against Netanyahu. And so that's a fucking problem. Randy Fine passed anti-Semitism law.
Yeah. The First Amendment, freedom of speech. There's freedom of speech to an extent, man, but not really. Not really. You kind of have freedom of speech these days, not like complete freedom of speech. There's freedom of speech, but there's also consequences.
Laws in Florida, if you pass out flyers, you get 5 years in jail. But meanwhile, he can call for the genocide of Muslims. He can say that he wants the streets to run with their blood. He can say that they're lower than dogs. He can advocate for nuclear weapons used on a predominantly woman and child population. But yet, if you pass out flyers talking about Jewish overrepresentation in the media, he'll throw you in jail for 5 years. It's a fucking problem.
Randy Fine, he's a Jewish congressman. He calls himself the Hebrew Hammer. What do you think America should know about the guy you're running against?
Gator Chris, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got to grow the Discord for sure. Would love to. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. Become a member. Throw in this super chat. Help keep this channel afloat.
For Congress, Randy Fine.
And we are developing the best community in the world. I'm just trying to be as cool as all you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm decent. You guys, it's all about y'all. And the 20% women. 20% of women subscribers that we have. Sometimes 21%.
Well, he cares more about being Jewish, and he cares more about Israel than he does America. And you can see it in his office. He's got an Israeli flag flying higher than the U.S. flag, which is illegal. But he doesn't give a shit, you know, and he just tells his fan base whatever they want to hear, his audience, you know.
Jared saying people don't understand you have freedom of speech from government sources, but obviously we don't have freedom of speech on private property. 100%, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it, brother.
Oh, we're going to go deport some illegals, and, you know, I'm endorsed by Trump, and, you know, whatever Trump says, we're going to go free those Iranians right back into the fucking Stone Age when we bomb them, and, you know, we got to do, it's just all bullshit. Like, everything that he says is complete, unadulterated bullshit. And he is putting a foreign nation before America, just like almost the entire rest of our Congress is, except for Massey and maybe a couple others.
Fed.
And Americans are paying for that. And I think they're getting fucking wise to this because...
Do you guys think that Dan Bilzerian is a Fed or not? Thank you, bro. Happy to have you here, Jared.
If you see the comments, you know, and I'm getting them from liberal women and people that wouldn't normally have otherwise supported me, they all know. Like, people know. And so now it's just, you know, I just feel like
User TT, how you doing, brother?
People have a frustration. Like, everybody knows we're getting fucked over. Everybody knows that the government's not operating in our best interest. Everybody knows that we shouldn't be funding this genocide. Everybody knows that we shouldn't be sending hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, this current war is costing us $500 million.
They would hire him if they haven't hired him already, right?
A day. Like, I don't think people understand how much money that is. Like, it just...
All right, let me see if I can get this Veronica's friend up here. Let's see if I can get her accurately.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
I'm just gonna have to move this around a little bit. She's holding low kitten.
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Maybe.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
Oh, it's too big. Gotta make it smaller.
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Sorry, one more time.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
Why is it not showing up on this one?
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Okay. But you guys could hear that?
It gets lost. Like, 100 billion, 300 billion, whatever. Like, these numbers, they're just thrown around so much that they kind of like lose their potency.
All right, so Pyramid 7, can you hear it? Yeah, she comes up for us. Yeah, but you can see her, but can you hear her?
This is, this is our tax dollars. It's just fucking going to a foreign country, and we get no benefit.
I just noticed the cat.
If you want to just summarize it, we're spending our money to kill foreign random people, kids, whatever. I mean, the first thing we did is bomb a children's school, or hit it with, actually not bombs, this is much worse. It was precision guided Tomahawk missiles who triple tapped this school. But that's what we're doing. We're spending our tax dollars to murder women, children, Muslims, whatever, instead of helping Americans. Like, just think about that, because that's what's happening right now. We're literally spending our taxes to kill foreigners instead of help Americans.
And what's all this for?
It's for the support of Israel, for the benefit of Israel, for Jewish greed. They want more fucking land. Like, that's what this is about. They literally want the Greater Israel Project. That's why they keep bombing their neighbors. That's why they keep fucking bombing Lebanon. Like, this is not about saving some Iranians. This isn't about the 8 AI-generated Iranian girls that we're supposedly trying to save. It's all bullshit. Like, there wasn't 50,000 Iranian civilians killed by the government. That was complete fucking lie. Everything they're telling us is complete bullshit. Like, this story of, like, we're going there to, like, liberate them and free them. Meanwhile, like, 2 days later, Trump talks about how he's going to bomb them into the Stone Age and threatens to use nuclear weapons. Like, that will absolutely destroy the country. That'll kill tens of millions of citizens. And yet we're in there on this false premise of we're trying to help them and liberate them from fucking what? Like, to do what? To send them back to the Stone Age to murder their families? Like, and so, yeah, I just, I think it's so obvious. I mean, Israel just keeps grabbing more land.
If you had to guess what
Did anyone drop
the end game is, like, what's Israel's end game over the next 5-10 years?
Well, there's two things. There's, like I just said, the Greater Israel Project. They want, more land. I think that there is a sect in Israel that wants to bring about the end of times. And they have to, in order to do that, they have to make the entire world hate them and attack them, which they're doing everything in their power to do. It's almost like you just look at this, you're like, do they just want everybody to hate them? And the answer is some of them do. Some of them actually do, because they believe that that's going to usher in the Antichrist. And we will have the end of times. And part of their prophecy is that they get 26 or 2,800 Goyim slaves for each Jew, and so, like, they're going to rule the world and we're going to serve them. And
is this called Pax Judaica?
That might be a term for it. I mean, there's different theories, right? But, like, part of their unequivocal belief, some of them, not all of them, obviously.
Rudy Armenta, don't worry, bro. Just happy to have you here. Laura Loomer is really going after this guy. She's going after Dan Bilzerian. What for?
But there is a sect of very religious Jews that believes that they need to have the entire world turn against them to usher in the Antichrist. There's like a whole part of it. They have to build the third temple, the red heifers. There's like a whole thing. But that's not bullshit. That's like real.
Let me ask you this, Dan. You've been around a lot of extremely wealthy, powerful people. I mean, I see this theory of eschatologies, basically the predictions of what happens at the end times, playing out a lot within different groups and sects. Like, do powerful people actually believe in like bringing the world toward an end time? And like, can we kind of guess what's happening based off that? Like, is that a real thing?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of rich guys that have built bunkers recently,
Right.
And we've had a lot of scientists just somehow start dropping dead. I think it's like 14 now.
Yeah, that's so wild.
There are strange things happening in the world. Like, we are absolutely headed for a paradigm shift, I believe. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing. I don't know if it's going to be a bad thing. I just know that people are waking up fast. I wouldn't have predicted that people would be.
All right, so we got, I think Laura Loomer is actually going after him. Bilzerian, he's got 30 million plus followers. He's the poker brother influencer. He declared war on Fine, calling him a fat whatever. Amid Fine's anti-Muslim posts preferring dogs over Muslims, Loomer, MAGA firebrand and firebacker blasted Bilzerian as a disgraced, degenerate, unhinged Islamic apologist, rabid JEW hater, and Islamic terror sympathizer for his anti-Israel takes, exempli gratia, blaming Israel for U.S.-Iran woes, pro-Palestine vibes. Bilzerian fired back, I'm Muslim, dips, don't forget your meds, Larry. Mocking her, accused her, Tommy Robinson, of being traitors. Loomer doubled down, questioning his Dubai, Qatar trips, calling for his rejection to protect Jewish interests, even hinting he's a cooperating witness in something shady. So what are the hooks and the stakes? With GOP's slim House majority, Bilzerian could split the primary. Fine seeks full-term post. Scandal, Loomer's shielding her ally, framing Bilzerian as anti-Semite threat. So Loomer versus Bilzerian, poker bluff meets conspiracy queen. Who folds first? Yeah, who's going to win that? Loomer versus Bilzerian.
He's so aware so quickly.
What's with the scientists?
I don't know.
I don't even know what it's about.
I don't either. They're talking about, they were all doing some like anti-gravity research and something tying in with aliens, I guess, basically. The anti-gravity research would probably be in propulsion. So, maybe space travel. I don't know. I don't really have much of a theory, but there's something going on, right? Like 14 people don't do, and it was like very strange circumstances, right? Like one of the guys leaves the house, or actually I think there's multiple guys leave the house without a cell phone, only took their gun, and then just like completely vanished. I don't know, just very strange shit going on. And then some of them like were literally talking, and saying that they weren't suicidal, and then suddenly somehow committed suicide. I don't know, very strange. Not normal circumstances.
I guess when it comes to all this, like, what's the one thing that you, Dan, are not allowed to say? Like, is there anything that you think would get this whole podcast deleted?
Go back in time about 6 months and everything that I said would have got your podcast deleted. I think the Overton window has moved a lot. I think that I have some part in that as well. I think what I said on Piers Morgan 2 years ago was something that had like never really been said on a major platform ever. And it took him about 5 months to release that. And I feel like there was a shift there. I'm not like saying that it was obviously like all me or whatever, but the way people approached Piers after that, I mean, you had some girl in there, like, basically acknowledging that she was a full-on racist, and just like people kind of like leaning in to their beliefs. And then also people just talking about this stuff. It's definitely, the times are changing massively.
Yeah, where is he getting all this information? That's what I very, very much want to know. Very much want to know. By the way, we're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat if you want. Helps this channel survive. And we got user TT saying, my biggest concern is CERN. There you go. Gator Chris says, ushering Christ doesn't sit well with me. I'm a man of faith. Prophecies will fulfill themselves. There you go. Rudy says, let's help build the last temple and help bring Jesus back faster. What do you think about that, chat? What do you guys think?
The speed at which everybody's waking up is, I think, the biggest thing that's shocking me. Because I didn't think they could do it. Like, I didn't think everybody would figure it out. I thought it was a losing battle. Yeah, this was like kind of like a suicide mission, honestly. Initially, I felt like.
You got Mike M joining another chat saying, you can look at him and see an 80 IQ caveman from the mountains. Agree or disagree with Mike?
It was like, I didn't think that we could win. I felt like, I don't know. It was like I was going to get fucked up for it. There was, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, it was probably not a wise decision based on everything that I knew and whatever. But sometimes you just got to say, what the fuck, you know?
I guess when it comes to your run for Congress, like, what impact do you think that will have? And like, what's your mission exactly? Like, is your goal to kind of inspire other influencers to run in important areas?
Not necessarily influencers. I want like real Americans. I want people that are doing this because they want to help the country. I think the problem with most influencers today is they're worried about making money and clicks and sensationalism and whatever.
We got user TT saying, my biggest concern is CERN. And CERN, CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research, a top global particle physics lab near Geneva on the Swiss-French border. Founded in 1954, it runs the world's largest particle accelerator, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, to probe fundamental matter and forces. Their core mission is 2,500 plus scientists from 100 plus countries smash protons at near light speed in a 27-kilometer underground ring, spotting particles like the Higgs boson discovered in 2012, spun off of W. Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. Aerial view of Herns. Let's see if we can pull this up to you. Is that right there? Let's see if we can see that. That's the aerial view. So it proved Higgs mechanism explaining mass, hunts dark matter, extra dimensions, no black holes or portals, cosmic ray collision happen naturally in space. So CERN smashing atoms for truth, not doomsday. Yeah, well, as far as CERN, what are you concerned about? It's pretty wild whenever you get involved in situations like that, for sure. Science can be wild if you don't know what the final outcome will be.
You know, people are going to have to stand up and actually run and get into government and do something about this. And so one of my goals with this is that if I win, I think it'll change the...
Do you guys believe in those portals? We had somebody in the chat last night saying that they saw an alien ship go through a portal. El Schmiablo. There you go, most hated man in America. I knew that Israel owned America, but this is hilarious, from El Schmiablo. Starlion. Which chat do you read? We read super chats for sure, but we read whatever's interesting and whatever helps with the channel. So yeah, feel free to jump in on the chat. We have the best chat in the world, by the way.
Message of what is run on in 2028, I think there will be a lot more people that are going to want to run on this message, and that I think AIPAC is going to start to be a social pariah, where if you are taking money from AIPAC, that's almost like a negative endorsement. And if that's the case, then their money can't buy elections anymore. Right now, you can buy an election. Like, you can just spend enough money and knock on enough doors, like, you'll just win.
So allegedly, no, CERN is not making Soylent Green. That is allegedly pure conspiracy nonsense. I don't know for sure, but that's just what I'm reading. So the myth allegedly is fringe theories claim CERN's LHC opens portals, demons turning folks into green food, zero evidence, just viral memes twisting real food tech. But you never know. You never know.
And so there's that. I think we need to have a lot more people run for Congress that aren't running for their own personal benefit. And I think we need to get a president in that's going to actually fucking clean house. And I think people are going to be radical enough. I've said this before, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but people are going to want Hitler in 2 years. Like, they're going to want something super fucking radical because they're pissed off. Nothing they're doing matters. Their politicians on the left and the right don't give a fuck. You know, all the leftists are super against Israel, but all the people that they elected that are supposedly like super leftist Democrats are all still voting to send money to Israel. So when they see this, and, you know, George Galloway says 2 cheeks of the same ass, you know, they're both clapping together, and it's true. Like, it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, they're both, when it comes to these very important issues, doing the same thing. Can't agree on anything else, but that they can. And so I think people are going to be fucking really tired of that. And also, like, these assholes like Alex Karp and fucking Sam Altman, you know, they're just so fucking unlikable, and they're talking about surveilling us, they're talking about monitoring us, they want to censor us, they want to...
Sam Altman, dude, what a wild dude. Did you hear about that little Indian scientist that used to work with Sam Altman, then wanted to leave but couldn't leave? Man, oh man. There we go. Sheena's got some love for Dan Bilzerian. There you go. W's in the chat for Dan Bilzerian by Sheena. Dear Diary. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the green stuff?
I think people are going to be really fucking tired of this Jewish supremacy problem that we have, and they're going to want a solution. And I don't think any traditional politician is going to give them even a
How you doing, Riggle?
semblance of hope of what they want, which is going to be America taken back by Americans to function for Americans. So I think if I can win this election, it will shape the message going into 2028, which I think is very important.
That genuinely makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I guess for anyone who maybe doesn't have trust in you that you're actually gonna...
We got a message from Starline saying, I'm not going to super chat. You don't need a super chat, buddy. Super chat's always, if anyone wants to, just to help the channel. But Laura Loomer hired Blood Tribe and Goyim Defense League, Hammer, and Handsome Truth to stage rallies outside synagogues, and it helped get new. She was at the Charlottesville of the skip to the rally that day. She went to the after party. There you go. She's got a party, right?
Kind of push this message forward, shift the Overton window. Just people see a lot of these headlines and they don't really understand like the nuances of some of the events of your life. Like, what controversy in your career do you think people misunderstand the most? Hey, really quick, do you have a 401k controversy in your career do you think people misunderstand the most?
All of it. I think all of the negative press that I've gotten when explained is actually a positive.
It's wild. It's wild. Are you talking about Bernie Sanders? Rudy Armenta? Yeah, Bernie's got some strong opinions on Israel. It's weird. It's weird to see him try to like defund Israel and stop American funding towards Israel. Like, I understand his point, but it's just kind of weird.
You know, you look at a lot of the negative headlines that I got, and when you give the explanation of what actually happened, I didn't address it. So the news media would just run this crazy stuff, and I would get all these people that just believed it, right? Like the headline, I think it was like 5 years ago, you know, Dan Bilzerian went broke, and he's, you know, he put $50 million on his credit card, and he's renting this house and like all this shit. And it's like, I was worth $375 million at the time. And the company did $100 million in vape sales that year alone. And I think I spent maybe like $12 million on marketing total. And I developed a global brand. We've done over $500 million in sales just in South America alone. And so clearly the marketing was effective. You know, you look at how much Red Bull and Monster and all these other companies spend on marketing. It's like hundreds of millions of dollars. I spent 15 and I created a global brand in 1 year. And so I was just, you know, it was during COVID and I was writing my book and I was just seeing these headlines. It was just like, I was just laughing. I was like, surely.
Star Lion jumping in the chat saying, name the last aristocrat who is willing to stand up and risk his life in the United States over this topic. Yeah, not too many. Not too many. Henry Ford, Charles Lindbergh. That's about it. Define aristocrat. An aristocrat is a member of ruling class nobility or the highest social rank, often possessing inherited titles, land, and wealth. They represent the elite class in a society where power is held by a privileged few, and they may exhibit specific refined habits, manners, or behaviors associated with the upper class. Well said, buddy. Well said.
Idiots can't believe this, and like people were actually believing it.
Who was putting out this stuff?
Alec Matthews, Trump 2028. Who agrees with Alec over here?
All these YouTube people, you know, and that's why like I didn't want to address it because I didn't want to like drive them more traffic because I mean my audience, I had 60 million plus followers and I'm not going to like address just absolute nonsense. I guess I should have, you know, but at the time I'm just like, no, there's no way people are going to believe this. This is stupid. Like I own a jet.
Thank you, Starline. Appreciate it, buddy.
Got, you know, a fucking $25 million house. Like, what are we talking? Like, it's just, I don't know. It was just so crazy to me, the idea that people would believe this bullshit. But we'd fired the president, and he wanted to get fired because we were appointing somebody as CEO, and he thought he was going to get that spot. And so he basically just like didn't show up to meetings, and he was super rude to the guy that was becoming the CEO. And so we had to fire him. But he had this whole like whistleblower thing ready. Went to TMZ. And sued the company and sued me and whatever. And people just like believe this ridiculous headline. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Then, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. Like Dan Bilzerian throws a porn star off the roof. That was like a big headline. Like I'm just throwing girls off the roof. You know, it's like for a Hustler photo shoot. They asked me to do it. The girl volunteered, you know, and she like barely clipped her foot because she held onto my shirt. She fucked up. And so like in context, it's obviously like not a bad thing. And then another one was like, this was a really crazy one. I was at the biggest mass shooting in U.S. history.
In Vegas, right?
Yeah. And there was like this, and I refused to do the interviews afterwards. I didn't really want to like talk about it. And so this idiot Marine that had somehow won the Medal of Honor got on there and he's like, oh, Dan was running away. He's a coward. And like they actually ran that story, which is so fucking crazy because I actually have the video, like the 6-minute video is like 5.5 minutes. A friend of mine is a surf photographer. He actually like recorded the whole thing. And like the whole shooting was like 9 minutes. I think he has like 6 minutes of it. And I actually went, the first thing I did is I went into a cop car and I'll show you the video. Went into the cop car for like a minute trying to get this gun because it was locked in there and I couldn't get this fucking gun. Thankfully I didn't, right? Because if I'm walking around shooting with a gun and I'm not in uniform, it probably would have shot me. So thankfully I didn't get it. But I thought there was somebody in the crowd walking around with a fucking gun. So then I ran towards the Mandalay, and then that was the next headline. It's like, oh, Dan Bilzerian, this idiot, he asked a cop for a gun and whatever. And it's like, I was a cop at the time. I'd been a cop, you know, for 3 years. I'd literally 3 days prior to that kicked the fucking door off the hinges to serve a murder warrant in fucking New Mexico with the U.S. Marshal. So like actually doing like real shit. And so I showed him my police ID. I told him that I was a cop, and he had 2 guns on him, and we're in the middle of a mass shooting. So to me, like that doesn't seem like a ridiculous. And he was running away. He's like fleeing the scene. So I'm like, hey, give me a fucking gun. Right. I get why he wouldn't, but like in context, it's not a crazy thing for me to ask for a gun. We're being shot at. He's running away. He has 2 guns, and I'm a fucking cop.
Yeah. It sounds ridiculous until you hear he had 2 guns. Then it's like, yeah, totally makes sense.
I'm not like, hey, give me your only gun. Like, he had a fucking AR and he had a fucking pistol. So I'm like, hey, you know, give me a gun or whatever. Like I said, man, when you're being fucking shot at with fucking belt-fed weapons, you know, like my first instinct is like, get a
All right, so I know what a PSYOP is, but user TT, what is a PSYOP? Never heard of that. Did he just call a Medal of Honor recipient a coward? Asked by Jared. I don't know. I missed that one.
A fucking gun, right?
The one I haven't heard you address yet, maybe I missed an interview where you spoke about it, was when the Epstein files dropped, there was a photo of you and Post Malone that you posted to Facebook in 2018. Why were you in the Epstein files?
There's actually a few. So I guess Epstein was a fan, and there was a text where he's like talking, says something about like nobody's like stunting on you like Dan Bilzerian. I think somebody sent that to him, or I don't know. There was like, apparently he was sending my photos, and photos of me were being sent to him. And yeah, the photos that are in the files are.
What are you talking about, Starline? What type of special placement?
Ones that I posted on my social media. Like one is me with a trophy on a girl's ass in Thailand, and she was like, I don't know, 28, very.
Get her. Chris jumping in on the chat saying crazy fact about that incident. No spent shell casings were on the floor of the shooter's room. Flesh Simulator did a great video on it. Yeah, did you guys see the video about them seeing like gunshot like lights from like the end of a rifle or a pistol, like that little firelight that comes after the bullet is engaged, coming from a helicopter? So it was kind of weird how that whole situation happened. And what for, man? What for? A country music event, right?
Very famous model, and like the girls in the photo with Post Malone, they're like 27.
I know, just like brushed under the rug. Muzzle flash, that's right. Thank you, buddy.
It's 30, I think. It was actually some of the older girls we hung out with, and they like redacted the girls. It's just like weird because they're still on my feed, and so yeah. But
who do you think included that in there?
Well, that's the thing, is I think it was any communication that he had. So if he was,
you think the sound was coming from the speakers? And they're just playing that sound? Could be. Could be Alec. Alex is Cabalver's good guys. Ops going on.
Talking about me to his friends, or his friends were talking about me to him, then I'm in the files, right? Does that mean that I went to the island? No, like I've never been to the island. But yeah, they put those in there. I think maybe it was, also a method to potentially distract. I don't know,
Who do you think Epstein was?
I think he was a Mossad agent. There's also the theory that he was kind of the money guy behind some really rich people. I think he was an arms dealer before that. Maybe he was just getting the blackmail for himself. But Congress passed a law saying that they have to release the files. It's been 4 months. They haven't released the files. They're breaking the law. They're obviously actively covering up. They've redacted 50,000 files. We've seen some where Trump is unequivocally implicated in there. There's women that are accusing him of rape, and there's a limo driver that said that he heard such horrific stuff that he wanted to pull over the limo and beat the shit out of Trump. I mean, this is just like weird things for people to just randomly go to the FBI and say. Like, it's one thing if they're suing him civilly, right, and they just want a money grab, but this is like people going to the FBI to try and criminally prosecute him.
What is MBS?
It's like a 13-year-old girl saying that.
Oh, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Okay.
He tried to make her give him a blowjob, I think it was, and he hit her and because she bit him or something like that. And then there's another girl that accused him that her head got blown off in a situation where like.
User TT, are you serious? User TT says, seen women at that event who were smiling, filming while the so-called hooting was going on. Man.
Absolutely couldn't have been a suicide, and they ruled it. There's just been like some very strange stuff going on. He's in there a ton. He's clearly like hung out with Epstein, friends with Epstein, friends with a bunch of people that were with Epstein. Like it was 89.5% of the people on the Epstein list that were like majorly in the files and implicated were all Jewish. Howard Lutnick, all these people, Les Wexner, you go down the list, and No investigations, no prosecutions. I mean, it seems like the only people that have gone after are Christian guys. Like Bill Gates got questioned because he got chlamydia from a hooker, and then Prince Andrew, I think they went after him. It's like, but they literally, I don't think they've gone after a single Jewish person. It's like almost all Jews. And if you look at what they say in there, they talk about it, like shit that he says, like this is how the Jew makes money.
So the wild claim, allegedly, Jared and Ivanka, supposedly they're meeting MBS that night for Passover Ashura. It's a fringe theory, alleges Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump secretly met Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at the concert for some ritual covert deal. Passover, which is a Jewish holiday, was April 17. Ashura, Shia mourning Karbala. September, October, lunar dates don't match October 1st. No evidence that they attended. Allegedly, Jared and Ivanka condemned it publicly, so no MBS link.
Money, talking about like Goyim, and we don't want to have any Goyim at this event, like just like talking shit about Gentiles. And I think it's very...
So there's a USSS covers up failed attempts. U.S. Secret Service that protects the president's family allegedly hid assassination plots on them. Jared there. It's pure speculation. No docs, leaks, or probes to confirm yet, allegedly.
Very telling. I think it's very telling that we've killed more squirrels than we've arrested Epstein clients. The government, I think, has their priorities way fucking off.
I would ask you maybe what you're surprised that some influencers haven't been talking about, but I think we can do it in a more interesting way. I'm going to give you a name of someone, and I just want you to give me one word to describe them. Ben Shapiro.
Mossad.
Oh.
Andrew Tate.
Man.
Who'd he say?
Mossad.
Andrew Tate.
Tate.
Man. I mean, I've been friendly with Andrew. I've met him. I like Andrew. I don't want to talk negatively about him because we've had, good interactions. He's always been a gentleman with me. I will say
oh my gosh, Waffle Jackson jumping in on the chat saying, I've been listening in the background. Bill Gates is Jewish on his mother's side. Ghislaine is his cousin. His mother is Robert Maxwell's sister. Oh man, that's a big deal if that's accurate, dude. What in the world?
I don't agree with him walking back the I don't know what you want to call it, the Hell Hitler incident in the club or whatever that was. I think it's one of those things where if you're going to go out with that group of people, you're going to get the benefit of, the clout and the exposure, then I think you have to take the bad with the good. I don't think you can scapegoat them. I look at it kind of like a girl that I fucked and then tagged her on Instagram. She got a bunch of followers, and then her boyfriend got upset. And after she got 100,000 followers, she asked me to delete the photo.
All right, so Mary Maxwell Gates, Nee Maxwell, Seattle banker, United Way boss, Protestant Christian family, no Jewish roots, pure wasp stock, made a name coincidence with media mogul Robert Maxwell, born Plicht in Czechoslovakia, Jewish Holocaust survivor. So same last name, allegedly no roots, but that's alleged, we don't know. So Robert Maxwell's sisters all perish in Holocaust or unrelated. None named Mary Maxwell. Ghislaine, no Gates to blood, zero docs, trees, Lincoln. Reuters, Snopes debunked this forever. So that's kind of allegedly too, right? Or maybe not. So anti-Semitic psyop, Jewish cabal, Epstein, Maxwell links, Gates met Epstein post-conviction, regrets it. MOM network, IBM execs for bills, MS-DOS deal, civic win, not plot. So allegedly it's a fake news hoax. Gates and Maxwell cousins, only in QAnon's family reunion. I don't know.
Tag or whatever, and it's kind of like, Like if you're going to get the exposure, if you're going to go, you're going to get the clout and you're going to do it. You know, obviously like if you organize the fucking Avengers of anti-Semites, you're going to get some attention. And if you show up at Miami Jew-run clubs and you play a fucking Hitler song, you know, and everybody's live streaming this shit and they're...
Yeah, that's pretty bold to play that Kanye West song though.
Putting it on their fucking gay little social media channels, like obviously like this is going to cause commotion. You have to know that. And so if your explanation is that you're in a criminal lawsuit, which is, you know, that's legitimate, but then I just like wouldn't go. I wouldn't put myself in that situation if I'm trying to stay under the radar. Like I'm not going to hang out with like Nick Fuentes and fucking Myron Gaines and all these like, you know, I love Myron, but he's a wild fucking dude, you know, like, yeah, I mean, like I said, but he's done a lot of good, I think, for, combating the attack on masculinity. I like a lot of his stances. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think at the very least, maybe he was surprised that the song was played. But I do know what you're saying, that like, if you play those types of games, you can expect some things like that to happen.
I'm just a double down type of motherfucker, you know?
Right.
Like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm not going to apologize for it. And
Piers Morgan.
The first thing that comes to mind is cuck. But I think a better
we got Waffle Jackson jumping on the chat saying, it's user TT, sorry. Anthony Blinken was childhood friends with Maxwell. So the connection, Blinken's stepdad, Samuel Pisar, Holocaust survivor, lawyer, knew Robert Maxwell. Ghislaine's dad, Mossad spy tycoon, family friend, possible social circles, a light overlap. But Blinken, Ghislaine, no pics, docs, or witnessed, say childhood pals. Blinken, born 1962 in NYC, Ghislaine, 1961 in UK, different worlds, attend French Lycée Dalton. She, elite UK schools, fringe sites, push it, send sources. Epstein PSYOP sequel, I guess. Smear Biden admin, Mossad Epstein. Maybe. From according to Perplexity, it's baseless, but you never know, bro. And you don't know who's like editing these things too.
He's disingenuous. I think that's more important.
Huge rabbit hole.
You know, like he knows what's going on. Like he has had a plethora of guests on his show that very articulated or very.
Starline makes another point. If Gates was Jewish enough, they would never have leaked about him and the STDs.
Well explained and articulated what was going on in Palestine. He knew what was going on. Like he understood fully because he had super educated people on there. And I think that, I guess a part of his journalism, I have to give him credit for this. I will say, and with the TMZ guys, if you grill both sides, then I can't really talk shit, you know, because he will grill both sides, but he definitely defended Israel long after he knew that was not correct. And he had like a massively disproportionate amount of Jewish guests on there that would parrot this bullshit about Israel. But, you know, to his credit, I have seen him more recently grill those people. Now, is he doing it out of morality? I don't think so. I think he's doing it because that's where the entire fucking world is, and that's what everybody wants to see, and that's what's going to get him numbers, and that's what's going to make him more money, and that's what's going to make his fans probably not hate him as much. So, anyways, yeah.
Kanye.
Oh man, what a fucking flip-flopper. You know, the way I would describe Kanye is like a 14-year-old boy. Actually, no, a 4-year-old boy that has pots and pans and just bangs them around to get attention. which is very strange for a guy that's like one of the most famous people in the world. It's like one day he's fucking, or then the next day he's a Klans member, then the next day he's got his wife butt naked running around the fucking world, and then he's posting porn. Like, he is like a little kid that needs a ton of attention and will do anything to get it. That being said, I think he's, you know, a pretty talented artist, and I do respect some of his like early stances, but he totally doubled back. He apologized, kissed the ring, and you know the funny thing is they still fucked him. They still fucked him. He did the gay little apology thing, saw the rabbis, you know, whatever, completely fucking folded, and they still fucked him. You know, and I think that's a good lesson for people is like, you know, you capitulate and it doesn't save you. You bend the knee, you apologize, you do all the right things, and they'll still fuck you.
Nick Fuentes.
Oh man, you're really trying to fucking stir the pot. I don't want to boil it down to one word. If I'm going to talk about him, I think I need to give the whole picture, because I do think that he was one of the early pioneers of this stuff, and I do have respect for him. He's definitely an intelligent guy for sure.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I guess my criticism of him would be that I think it's so obvious what the problem is. And he went on a bunch of big platforms and didn't really use any of them to talk about the fucking Jewish supremacy problem that we all know about. And maybe that's because he's talked about it so much that he's kind of bored of it. Because one of the downsides of doing 4 or 5 hours of content every fucking week, and or maybe a day, I don't know how long his shows are, but he's like literally talking to a camera every day, all day. It's like, it would be boring to talk about this shit over and over and over again. So I think a part of doing too much content is that you get bored talking about the real issues, and now you have to go off on these tangents and focus on shit that actually isn't really that fucking important, you know, or stuff that's like just contrary to what you even believe, just to get shock value, because the stuff that you've been saying that traditionally got shock value is now mainstream. So now we got to, like, you know, talk about why Epstein was a good guy and Stalin was good, and like some crazy shit that I just obviously really disagree with. And there was some, it was just like a kind of like a steady stream of bad takes that I didn't understand. You know, saying that Epstein, like all the girls were like 17 and it wasn't that big a deal, you know, like, and these are children. There's like horrific shit in these files. And so to just kind of like say that was, you know, oh, some like barely legal girl, it's just not true at all. And then I disagreed with him on the Charlie Kirk thing. He said there was a 0% chance that, you know, Israel's behind that. I'm not saying that it was for sure Israel, or I even think that that's, you know, like the most probable possibility, but to say that it's 0%, I think is crazy. In the beginning of this thing, like the big important thing.
When you say there's 0%, that means you know 100% who did it and who did not do it. So that's a huge statement for sure.
Was that everybody kind of like woke up to this Jewish supremacy problem, and nobody wanted to talk about it. Like, he was one of the people that was like really talking about it. Like, if we're really being honest about like what is selling out would be taking the fucking money, taking the fame, you know, not doing the right thing or whatever. And I don't know, like, I'm in this for fucking pure reason. I've lost a shitload of money for this. I haven't gotten anything. I don't have a fucking little podcast. I'm not doing any of this gay streaming shit or whatever. I make $0. In fact, it's cost me a fuckload of money. So I guess I have a little bit of animosity, because I thought we were kind of like all on the same team, championing truth and like waking people the fuck up. And I thought like the whole goal was to like try and fix this problem. And now it seems like everybody's just trying to like cash in on it. Which is whatever. Like, I guess the net effect is people woke up to this, which was...
Speaking of shoes, have you guys ever tried Ultras or Vivo Barefoot? I think those are the most comfortable shoes. Crocs are pretty comfortable too, for sure. Space Crocs, bro. Yeah, you nailed it on the dot. They are Space Crocs. I never actually tried his shoes on, but I heard good things about them. A lot of people loved them for a while.
Was important, you know, which is one of the reasons why I was trying to like get them to stop fighting.
An issue you made me realize is that if you dig into truth, like, sure, bro, you have to dig a little bit past what you see on Fox News, CNN, and then go a little deeper, then go a little deeper. Maybe you arrive at some form of objective truth, but you can keep digging and get distracted and not really know what's real. And it seems like the issue with, I don't know, people who go down these rabbit holes, like individuals, and then also people who make content about it is like, from your view, what was needed to be said was said, but then they just distracted their audience. So their audience didn't care about the issue anymore.
Well, a part of it is that you get rewarded for sensationalism.
Right, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's true, if it's crazy, if it gets clicks, if it gets people's eyeballs. And I think that's the problem with just media in general today, is that it's not focused on what is true. It's focused on what is going to get people's attention, which is why you see all this race baiting shit, which is why like everything is like rage bait, whatever. And the problem with that is that it just, and there's no accountability too. Like, if the news just publishes something that's completely fucking untrue, especially if it's about a celebrity.
100%. Where is the accountability? It seems like no one can trust the news now. Not even. Like, it seems like almost Twitter has more accurate stuff than, you know, name the news station.
The best you get is a retraction on the fucking 8th page, you know, like 4 weeks.
I'll be droned, jumping out of the chat. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, pray for this world. 100%, man. 100%.
Later, when nobody gives a shit anymore, there's no accountability.
If you guys want to see some cool drone stuff, I'll be Droned has a cool channel. Cool dude.
And I think that needs to change. That's actually one of the things that I want to change when I'm in office, is like have some actual accountability for the media and have accountability for politicians. Like, if you knowingly lie to the public as a...
Yeah, Kurt says it for sure. How you doing, Kurt? Kurt says, well, also you got to be careful what you say out here these days because of powers that be that can put you in check. 100%.
Politician, you should be able to, you know, be prosecuted for that. Like, if you lie, if you commit fraud and get elected under false pretenses and you rug pull your audience, like, there should be accountability for that. And with the media as well, if you knowingly publish something about someone or a business or whatever that you know isn't true and you publish it anyway.
Yeah, Jared B brings an important fact about the actual history of our world. And how can we actually get the actual factual history? Like, that would be just incredible. Just incredible. Daryl Round says, I wouldn't trust either of these guys with my goldfish. If he goes into office, man, that'd be hilarious. That would be so hilarious. So hilarious. Albie Drone says, Jimmy Kimmel is a loser.
Ways, because you want to get clicks, like, you should be able to get your fucking ass suit off for that. You know, and I don't think we have that today.
Randy Fine, one word.
Well, I mean, man, I got to choose between fat and Jew now. I guess one word is Jew. I mean, that's his whole identity. All he talks about on his Twitter is how he wants to, like, you know, help Jewish people beat anti-Semitism and how he wants to help Israel fucking kill every Muslim and whatever. Like, that's his whole identity. And I'm like the antithesis of that fucking guy. I think it should be America first. I think it should be Israel last. And he is Israel first and America last.
I guess just briefly, do you want kids?
Oh, man. You gotta be confident you're gonna be around for long. I feel like there's a decent chance they fucking kill my ass.
Dang. What?
Not at the moment. I feel like there's just too much to do, and I have so little time.
I'll ask you this then.
That's a pretty huge statement Dan just said right there, man. That's wild.
If you have kids, or just for people who Google your name, and they find all this controversial, sensationalized media about you, like, what's the most important thing you hope people remember about you that the internet won't tell them?
That hedonism is not the answer. If I could impart one piece of knowledge, and I think I can do it from a place of massive expertise, that when you chase these things, when you chase money, power, pussy, whatever, there's never an enough, and it will not make you happy, and it's like trying to fill a black hole. So
Captain Blackbird to join the chat. How you doing, buddy?
it's fun. I'm not going to tell people it's not, but it's not the answer, and it's fleeting. And it will unequivocally not lead you to happiness.
And then last one.
Yeah, he's talking about hedonism will not lead you to happiness. Well said. And Kurt LSU says, kids make you happy. Trust that. That's cool, man.
What makes you happy?
Helping other people. I think that's
awesome.
The hack, doing something nice for somebody else and seeing them, light up about it. I think that's like a cheat for immediate happiness. Obviously, like having a family, spending time with your friends, like there's a lot of ways to generate happiness. And the nice thing about happiness opposed to pleasure is that it's not fleeting. You can maintain happiness. Like every time you see your son, it's going to make you happy. Every time, you make your daughter happy or you see her smile, like it's going to make you happy. There's no like fleeting piece of that. Whereas, when you have sex with a hot girl, the first time it's going to be, you're going to have a pleasure spike, and then second time, and then eventually it has to be 2 girls and then 3 girls and then this and that. It's like you're trying to chase that thing. It's like a drug. It's like your first hit of heroin is going to make you feel better than your 15th. And eventually you're going to have to do it not feel like shit. So I would tell people to focus on happiness because, like I said, you can sustain that.
Right.
That's cool. Good advice, man.
Well, everyone, this has been your guest.
Not bad. Not bad. How he's going to be, who knows? You absolutely don't know. Gator Chris says, my 2 biggest regrets is not joining the military and not having kids. 41, by the way. There you go. You're not too old. There you go. 41. You can still have kids, man. Unless you're a female, then it's much more difficult to have kids. Yeah. Now I asked Shapiro the same question. Dominic, thank you for the 10 jewels and the 20 jewels, brother. Appreciate it. Going live every day of 2026. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in some super chats, help keep this channel alive. And you guys are asked about like AI and Palantir and what it's doing with the Iran war. Well, I'll tell you what it's doing.
Closest look we've gotten at Maven's smart system. The AI-powered
Maven
software at the front lines of global conflicts today.
Mr. Good Citizen says, regret not having kids. Glad I never had the regret of a marriage, though. There you go. There you go. You could always, yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Some people are like, you know what? Don't want to do the marriage thing. You want to have kids. Stick with the same lady. It could work. It could work.
The big bottleneck in modern warfare is the time it takes to target your adversary. And in the first 12 hours of the Iran war, the U.S. struck nearly 900 targets.
Congratulations, man. Kurt LSU saying, my wife had her last kid at 42 natural birth. Brilliant. Healthy kid, I hope. There you go. As long as both male and female are healthy, can have kids until the 40s. The X-Files guy saying, I have a couple kids there in my life. Yeah, man, that's awesome, bro.
And over 13,000 targets in 38 days. This is a massive increase over the way things used to be. And
yeah, Gator Chris says, we'll never get married legally in this day and age. Absolutely, absolutely. It's so wild, like what everything did to like marriage, It's just not beneficial to all parties.
And central to that is Maven's smart system. I want to walk you through how this thing actually works.
If you meet the wrong partner.
And then show you how much of these capabilities we can actually build using commercial and off-the-shelf tools. Minus, of course, the missiles at the end, because the applications for situational awareness go way beyond the battlefield. And because TED is over, this is exactly why I've been heads down building God's Eye View into something bigger than a
True, Mr. Good Citizen.
YouTube series. And if you've been asking me when you can actually use this stuff, you're going to want to stick around till the end. So let's get into it. All right, so there's this military concept called the OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, and
the mustache is gone. Shaved it. Trying something new.
Act. This is honestly what you do when you wake up in the morning and decide to go get your coffee.
But I do kind of miss my mustache. I might have to bring it back.
Coffee or eat a burrito in the evening. The key point, though, is your decision cycle needs to be faster than your adversary. Because if you do that, they can basically never catch up. They can't orient. They can't plan. They're always in a react mode. And the whole idea behind Maven is to compress that entire loop. And we're going to walk through every single step so it's crystal clear. Okay, first is the backstory. This was really interesting to get into because to understand why Maven exists, you need to understand what came before it. Adversarial targets were tracked in Excel spreadsheets. PowerPoint was used for mapping network connections between all of them. Google Earth was there for zooming in and out. As one officer put it, we've killed more people on Microsoft Office than you'd ever imagine. I mean, just think about it. The modern commander, with all the crazy sensor systems at his disposal, is going into battle with Microsoft Office and Google Earth. Maven was created to fix all of that. Basically, Google Earth for war, but with AI telling you what's actually on the screen. All right, so here's what they built. What you're looking at are feeds from satellites, drones, signals intelligence, prior map data, all layered together on a globe. You can see which aerial assets are in the area, as well as different target designations. Now we're seeing a drone view. You can see
True, Kirby. Thank you, buddy.
the vector outlines.
Kurt Ellis, who says, if you marry your best friend, you never have to worry. 100%.
The buildings that are highlighted. With a couple clicks, you load up your, let's say, road network data so you can see how exactly to make it to that point. And then when you zoom in, you see all these dots. These are basically detections made using computer vision. And you'll notice there's a number associated when you hover over them and nominate things to the board. That number is its stable identifier. The idea being that you can tell this is indeed the same car that, let's say, you're seeing in a satellite view versus a drone view versus CCTV. Then you can take these detections and nominate these to a literal Kanban.
Mr. Good Citizen. That's tough, man. But don't bring your old drama to your new opportunities, bro. Wishing you the best.
Board. Like a task tracker where you can drag cards from to do to done. These vertical columns each have their own different process, and they essentially represent what different teams would have been doing. Once you've taken these detections, you can take advantage of other workflows to figure out what is the right asset to task to execute that target. You can choose different criteria. You can optimize different metrics like time to target, how much fuel, munitions, distance, etc. And from all of that, it gives you a recommendation that a human actually approves the plan, which it goes about and executes. Or as the chief AI officer put it,
in order to get to our desired instant, actually closing a kill chain.
So basically, the
wild
Department of War loves this because Maven is taking something that used to take a room full of analysts, right?
Yeah, you got to be careful with all of your updates. Get Chris just had a major AI update for my Samsung phone last night. Looks like every major function is affected. Yeah, like I have the iPhone 17. And I think the iPhone 18 is coming out soon. And so anytime the new iPhone comes out, they put like this bloatware and they put this and that and this and that. And I was like, no, I'm not going to update. I'm not going to update unless I absolutely need to. There's absolutely no reason. I know someone who updated and like their battery charging is worse. Their battery distance is much worse. So their battery life is worse. A bunch of bloatware, slower, just horrible, you know? So yeah, just be mindful of that. Whenever there's a new product and they want you to update, usually they ruin your phones. Like, and Apple's been known to do that. Apple actually got sued for that as well. So Jared says that is fact. It's hard, but cannot take old grievances out on someone new. No, absolutely not. If they're the same color, same last name, same first name, they're not the same person. Just got to remember that every single person is different.
To go generate that course of action for them. Now that entire complicated pipeline can all be collapsed down.
But you know the good thing about seeing the bottom, hitting rock bottom, only way to go is up, man. And you are all special. You can all do it. Don't worry about it.
Into one software that all these teams use to make the stuff happen. The AI starts recommending which asset should prosecute that target, which drone, which missile system, which aircraft, based on proximity, payload, rules of engagement, and then you approve that plan. So you go from like detection to strike decision in one system. And just for a second, imagine that this has been happening thus far in Microsoft Office and Google Earth. Now let's map this to the OODA loop. The sensor feeds that are coming in, right? Like the satellites, aerial, drone, all that stuff. That's the observation. The system is...
Yeah, and DJI has these things called drones. And these drones, they're taking all that data, and Americans are flying DJI drones because they're so easy. So all of our land completely marked to the centimeter, bro. Yeah, technology is wild.
Fusing and classifying what it sees, that's orientation. The Kanban board and the course of action generation, that's decision. And then finally, actioning the target, that's the acting bit. We're going to come back to this demo throughout the video because each section breaks down one step of this loop. Now, here's the part that's super complicated and controversial. There's pretty good consensus based on reporting that the AI that...
Yeah, that's another tough situation. If you want a kid, adopt one. But yeah, I don't think unmarried people should have kids. You know, that's just... I think if you already have a family, then you can have kids. But if you're gonna if you can't have kids and you don't have any kids, you probably shouldn't have any kids. But if you have like 2 or 3 and you want like 3 or more, and you already made some upright citizens, I don't know. That's a touchy situation.
That's doing this like natural language intelligence queries inside Maven, that's Claude, built by Anthropic. Anthropic actually was one of the first to deploy large language models in classified military settings. In fact, the Washington Post reported that Claude is central to the US campaign in Iran. But Anthropic obviously drew a line, which Daria Ahmadi got a lot of flack from the administration.
Jumping in the chat. What a champ, dude. W's in the chat for Gator Chris saying, join the Discord. There you go, dude. Appreciate it. Veronica, we got to come out here for Gator Chris. Gator Chris. Come on, Veronica. Come on.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
That's Veronica. Veronica loves you. Everybody loves you. Thank you so much, Gator Chris, for helping this channel survive, buddy.
For. Basically, they said you can use Claude as long as it's not used for fully autonomous weapon systems or mass domestic surveillance. The Trump administration...
Okay, you're Christopher in Discord. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Replied by declaring Anthropic a supply chain risk. Their argument was, hey, you're a contractor, you provide us the tool, you have no say over how it's actually used. And when you combine this with other reporting that seems to suggest that it's actually Claude 3.5 Sonnet that's actually being used in the system, it really makes you think, like, are these models actually good enough to deploy in the wild? So the AI company that first brought their large language model to a classified setting, that's a key part of this Maven smart system, is now at the center of this battle with the government. And based on recent reporting, it seems like a deal can still be struck. But
Captain Blackbird says, I gotta have kids. My ancestors are counting on me. Yeah, bro, do it. You'd probably be a great father, man, for sure.
But the tension is very real, and we'll come back to this because it matters. All right, so Maven is obviously only as good as what it can see, the underlying data that is made available to it. So let me show you what that actually is. Obviously, you've got crazy spy satellites in orbit, keyhole stuff, the new things that SpaceX is building. You've got synthetic aperture radar, which we've extensively covered in the past, both military and commercial satellite systems like ISI and Capella Space that fire literal radar pulses through cloud, through darkness, that return 25-centimeter resolution imagery of the ground. We've covered this previously. Very dual-use tech, the same stuff to figure out if a landslide's going to happen or if a bridge is about to break, is also critical to these kill chains. Now, here's the stuff that most people don't know about: wide area motion imagery, or WAMI. They started off with a system called Gorgon Stare. This is mounted on those classic MQ-9 Reaper drones, and basically it uses 368 cameras stitched together into a 1.8 gigapixel composite image so that you can persistently surveil an entire small city from 25,000 feet. Think of this like Google Earth Live. If you've actually seen the movie Enemy of the State featuring Will Smith, this program was actually inspired by that movie. That's freaking wild to me. So the idea is, once you've got this persistent image of absolutely everything, when something bad happens, let's say an IED goes off in Afghanistan, you can then rewind to see where that car originated from. There's an even more advanced...
Now the only question is, Captain Black, do you think your woman would be a good mama? And would you guys make a good team? You guys see each other going the whole distance. That's an important one. I hope you guys do, if it's true and good, you know?
Advanced version of this called Argus IS that can cover 30...
Kurt LSU, you know what they say, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. There you go.
36 square miles with enough resolution to track individual pedestrians. This way, as long as you have an airplane or a drone, orbiting over a city, you can figure out exactly what's happening on the ground in the past, in the present, and of course the future as well. So if we go from wide area to narrow areas of monitoring, that's what you might usually associate with drone footage, essentially FMV or full motion video. Yeah. You've got these Reaper drones that are capable of taking...
More likely, at least, Captain Black, for sure.
taking these live feeds directly into Maven for real-time object detection and classification. And what's interesting is that these drones can also now operate in GPS-denied environments, right? Like which Iran obviously is, and other conflict zones across the region. They're constantly getting jammed and spoofing GPS, right? You can't rely on GPS in those scenarios. If you remember, we've talked about visual positioning systems in the past before, where you can take a camera image, match it to a prior 3D model to figure out exactly where that photo is taken. Drones use this technology too, and Vantor's got something called the Raptor system that matches that onboard camera feed against their precision 3D terrain model. So Vantor has used their 30-centimeter satellite imagery to build this coarse 3D model of the world, and that becomes the key for it to figure out exactly where every drone photo was taken. Suddenly, the drone doesn't even need GPS. It knows where it is just based on the terrain. Now, as you
praying woman and a God-fearing woman. That's right, man.
You probably saw with God's eye view, 1 or 2 layers by themselves are only so interesting. But when you start putting in different sources of intelligence together, that's where you get that classified grade picture. Signals intelligence is obviously a huge part of how these systems work. I'm talking intercepted communications, electronic emissions integrated along.
Yeah, if you're worried about like leaving the house, no trust, no this, no that. Yeah, bro. How are you even going to be successful in life? Like, there's just too much. That's the reason. There was I think it was like a Jamaican or African song or one of those things. It was like, if you want to be a happy man, marry a woman uglier than you. Something like that. It's hilarious. The alien disclosure thing. I don't know much about the alien disclosure thing, but I know that I heard about it about 4 years before that it was supposed to be a false flag. So I don't know. I really don't know. Do I think that there's aliens? I think there's probably aliens. There's probably another Earth and probably different things, but I can't say personally too much about that. I honestly don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Alongside the imagery. We've talked about RF satellite constellations in orbit like Spire that do dark vessel detection, right? Like vessels that are
those are all perfect, Captain Blackbird, for sure.
Turning off their transponder. In addition to that, you have entire shadow fleets, right, that are not just turning off their AIS, but they're actively masking or obfuscating their presence. But there's a
solid, Kurt. You're a lucky man, Kurt. That's awesome, bro.
Another source of data that solves that problem too, and that's called advertising intelligence. So sure, you're a shadow fleet, you're out in the wild, you've actually repainted your ship and you think you're scot-free. But turns out the people on board have a cluster of devices that have Candy Crush installed. You can use that ad network data to geolocate where that ship is. That's the world we live in. You can obfuscate all other signals, but the fact that you've got some folks on board that like playing Candy Crush means you will be pinpointed. And then there's a secret one that's been reported lately, the RQ-180, America's most classified stealth reconnaissance drone. It was publicly exposed for the first time during this war when it emergency landed at an airbase in Greece this past March. It's a flying wing that's believed to operate at 60,000 feet plus for 24-hour autonomous mission.
Awesome, Kurt. Thank you, buddy.
And it's believed to have been tracking Iran's mobile missile launchers, the kind of targets that move and hide. You need that persistent overhead coverage to catch them. Now, does this have a SAR system?
Welcome to the chat, Riot.
System on board? Is it something more like whammy? We just don't know, but I suspect it's a combination of modalities. Now, of course, on top of all of this, you layer in commercial satellite imagery from like Vantor, Planet Labs, you've got the maritime AIS tracking data. All of it gets fused together into one picture. That's the observe step. Maven basically can see everything. Now, the question is, how do you make sense of it?
Just so you know, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. And let's have some fun. We're developing the best community right here on the internet
today.
Yeah, double tap that screen. Like
this is where we go back to left click, right click, left click. This is orient, decide, and act happening in one interface. Now watch what happens when you do this at scale. Obviously, I've been covering Operation Epic Fury deeply on this channel. If you've seen those God's Eye View videos and our Hormuz coverage, you know the timeline already. Now, Epic Fury kicked off Feb 28th, and in the first 12 hours, the US struck nearly 900 targets across Iran.
Yeah, shout out to all the good mamas in the world that made some good people. So important.
But perhaps the most dramatic single operation was Kharg Island on March 13th. The U.S. hit over 90 military targets simultaneously. I'm talking naval mine storage, missile bunkers, air defense systems, in what Trump called one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East. Critically, the oil infrastructure was deliberately left intact. So how do you coordinate 90 plus simultaneous strikes? Suddenly, software like Maven earns its keep. Orient, decide, act, all pre-computed using the latest sensor data and executed and tasked in parallel. Now here comes the critical trade-off, right? Like, is there a cost to speed? Is there a point at which Maven's accuracy surpasses that of a human analyst? And if it does, there's still going to be a gap. And at a large enough scale, that gap is going to manifest itself in targets getting hit that shouldn't have been hit. I think this is where we're also going to have to contend with how this technology is deployed in the wild, right? The Department of War right now has a very clear stance. There are no fully autonomous weapon systems. Everything has a human in the loop. But think about self-driving vehicles. At some point, self-driving gets accurate enough where it's better than the average human driver. But if you add up enough of those drives, people are going to die. And what happens when the systems make incorrect decisions? Like, why was that incorrect decision made? Is it the model maker, like Claude or Anthropic, that's at a fault here? Is it the sensor data, perhaps, that it was made on? Or even underlying maps data? For example, the underlying map data that you have your AI digest incorrectly classified a school. Whose fault is that? Now look, there are plenty more questions to get in here, but the broader question remains. When you're processing thousands of targets in 24 hours, what gets missed and who's at fault there? And then the question...
User TT, are you okay, buddy? Are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need to put that hand signal of like, I need help? I'm kidding, bro. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. That's good. That's good. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. Become a member, throw in a super chat.
Gets heavier. Once these systems get good enough to justify not having a human in the loop, what happens when you're processing thousands of targets in a short period of time? And to be clear, this isn't just Palantir. Like Anduril has Lattice, right? Very similar concept, different platform. Take a bunch of these sensor systems together and create a fused operational picture of the battle space and have AI handle the orient and decide steps. But this common operational picture isn't just useful on the battlefield. This is the same kind of platform. This same Palantir technology actually runs the UK's NHS COVID data system. It optimizes logistics for the World Food Programs. It runs Airbus's supply chain. Oil and gas giants use it to create incremental revenue opportunities. It catches money laundering for banks. I mean, this...
I'm just joking about that stalker thing, because I had a stalker and I was like, oh my God, dude. So tough. So tough. Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
This is the same OODA loop, the same fusion layer, just being applied to different problems. So when you pull all these capabilities apart, the same pieces that the defense sector is using can be mapped to civilian capabilities that exist right now. So observe, you've got the sensing layer. You can buy satellite imagery. SAR imagery is also commercial. You've got Copernicus, and if you want to go low resolution, satellite and plane tracking data is effectively free. The more expensive thing is AIS ship tracking data, but that too is accessible. In countries like Japan, you have a plethora of CCTV camera feeds. You can fly your own drone.
There you go, bro. You avoided eating disorders and mood swings. And potential drug use, bro. Good job.
You can buy robots. You've got social media ad tech data. All of this is stuff that you can either access or purchase. Then you have the orient step. This is classification and fusion. This is exactly what computer vision and large language models already do. Let's say you take your own personal security camera and give it to Meta Segment Anything model. It can figure out, hey, here are the objects in the scene. Then you give it to Claude or Gemini to tell you what those things are doing. And it can infer the context of everything else that's going on. It can check to see, hey, you were supposed to get an Amazon delivery and that is indeed the person that's now showing up. Basically, you can build your own AI layer that makes sense of all the data that's at your disposal. And this technology is available.
User TT. She seen me when I was in a cast on crutches and thought, he's an easy target. There you go. That dude can't run away, right? She got you.
To everyone. I mean, the more I use my own Ring camera, I'm so frustrated by how limited this thing is. And the fact that it has to go to some centralized server to do such basic things for me annoys me, especially when I know the AI tools at my disposal are capable of so much more. And then finally, you have decide, course of action generation, right? So for the military, that means recommending a weapon and an asset.
Kurt, if that question was for me, was she a good woman? Maybe that was your girl. No. if she was a good woman, then I wouldn't have ran away from that woman and hid from that woman and have to call the police and do that whole restraining order thing. No. If she was a good woman, I wouldn't do that. Absolutely not. If she was a good woman, I would help her. I would definitely help her.
For us, it's things like, what should you actually be paying attention to? What changed? What's anomalous? And have the system surface that automatically, not a barrage of detections like unknown person.
No, this guy is talking about Maven. From what I understand, he did not build it.
Detected at this timestamp. That doesn't tell me anything. And then act. In Maven, that's kinetics or deploying human assets. For us, it's decisions.
Oh, she made you jump ship, use her TT. There you go. Valuable man.
Knowing what's happening and being able to respond to it in near real time. Now, I've already been building this, and here's the roadmap. The first application is God's Eye View. You've seen this tool evolving, and I've been building it to fuse open source intelligence into a common operational picture. What's happening in the world, visualize the same way these military systems do it, but with publicly available data. You've seen it in my coverage of Epic Fury and Strait of Hormuz, and clearly y'all love it because it's the most unbiased perspective we can have without the usual color of traditional media. And let me tell you, that's getting a lot.
So is this the guy that built this program? Which program did he build?
More capabilities because now I've got a team. The second application is situational awareness for your own life. Your own data, your own cameras, your own feed, your own context fused into the same kind of unified view. Not surveillance. I'm talking about awareness of what's happening in your sanctum sanctorum. You've got the map of the world and everything that's publicly available, and then your own island that you control. Want to share it with others? Go for it. Want to keep it private? You can do that too. Private by default and optionally shareable with others. I mean, the cool part is you can buy all of these fancy sensors. The AI is commercial too. The only piece that doesn't exist is the fusion layer, the thing that pulls all of this together into one picture. And that's what I'm building. Observe, orient, decide, act. That's how all these platforms work. And honestly, that's how great decision making works in general. You're probably just doing it slower without all of this technology. So that's where I'm going next. God's Eye View is the window to the world that we all deserve to see. I'm going to keep monitoring the global situation as it evolves, getting sharper, faster, and
there we go. Mandy from the chat just saying that this is the guy who built this program.
to something that you can actually use yourself. And then there's the second surface, Argus, the same framework turned inwards to your world, your data, your context, so you can create automations around the physical world that you can't even imagine.
Oh man, that's the worst, bro. Gator. Chris says, I had a married stalker once. Talk about a crazy situation. Oh, bro. Yeah. You know what's even worse is when girls say that they're single and you talk to them and then about a week into it, like, oh yeah, I'm married, but like we're separated, gonna get a divorce. It's like, you lying woman. Like, how? That's the wrong way to develop a relationship or friendship, anything. That's just the wrong 100% way. Horrible, horrible. Yeah, I hate when those women lie like that.
Imagine today. So this is what I hope you'll get. Clarity about what's happening in the world, but then also your world. And by the way, if you can't wait for me to release this, so many of you reached out and I've responded to you, giving you the ingredients so you can at least go make the viewer yourself. Just point your clanker of choice at my Substack post and they'll do a really good job. If you take my YouTube video transcripts, in addition to that, it'll take you rest of the way there. But
there you go. This is Bilawal Sidhu, if you guys are interested in this guy. Pretty cool dude. Oh man, married woman. Yeah, bro, you got to learn somehow. You never know. You know, she's got to take care of you. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what he used. He uses the public satellites to track the Iranian war. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, just be careful about that, dude. Don't get involved, man. Not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Oh, this is the one he made? Oh, okay. Unfortunately, some of the women are. Some of the women are, bro. They do. Yeah. That's true. Would you recommend this one, Mandy? This is a good one. Oh my god, dude. So bad, so bad. Yeah, there's so many wild stories. Like some of these women are just attracted to like pain and suffering and hurting people and all that type of stuff. All right, on recommendation.
All right, so a week ago, I built Worldview. Basically, my personal geospatial command center with live open source intelligence all running in my browser. It was just a prototype, a fun weekend project, but the internet kind of went crazy over it.
It's like being shared by all these people. Oh yeah, I vibe coded Palantir. Like
then Saturday morning.
Not worth it, bro. Married off limits, not worth it. Not worth it. It's taboo. It's this, it's that. Not good. Don't mess around with that stuff. Yeah, if they're married, off limits, bro. Don't even touch that. If you get one of those fetishes, just get a girlfriend and be like, hey, pretend like you're married to somebody else. No, don't even do that. I don't even know. Just don't do that, dude. Not worth it. Because you're messing with your feelings, her husband's feelings. No, man. Don't do that. And the Lord sees, bro. Not worth it.
Morning, the Iran strikes happen. And I'm sitting there watching the news, and I suddenly...
And you think it's going to be over like a day later? No, dude. Don't mess with that.
Realize, holy crap, I'm sitting on the...
But what we can do is like pray for them. Pray for the best for them.
Perfect infrastructure to actually monitor this situation. So while this was happening, I set loose an AI agent swarm to
I don't know, figure something out if that's your thing, right? Mandy, do you have a better idea?
Basically capture every open source signal that I could find before the cache is clear. And what I got...
There you go. Listen to Gator Chris. Sneak into your own bedroom window and roleplay.
Back is a full 4D reconstruction of Operation Epic Fury. From the satellites flying over to the first strike to ships and planes getting rerouted to the retaliatory response, it's all captured and replayable on a 3D globe. And I'm going to break it down for you minute by minute what actually happened and show you some intel you're not going to see anywhere else, unless you have a security clearance. Let's get into it. All right, welcome to Worldview.
All right, so this guy's an ex-Google project manager, I guess.
We're now in playback mode, and on the bottom, you'll see we have the entire timeline of Operation Epic Fury, the entire strike on Iran and the response therein. I've got all sorts of data in here. We've got the satellites that are flying over orbit. We've got the commercial flights. We've got military flights. We've got GPS jamming, which are the red tiles over here. And if you zoom really in, we've even got maritime data of like boats and ships that are moving around. So let's talk about all of it. So the first thing you'll notice is that we've got...
Is this the stuff that Ian Carroll was looking at as well? This is pretty cool, man. This is very, very inspiring.
A bunch of commercial flights down here, but we're seeing a sudden spike in GPS jamming. This is all derived from ADS-B data, and you will see very...
User TT says it almost happened again at a bar, but my buddy saved me. Thankfully, your buddy saved you. My goodness. There is this one time where there is this chick who... I don't know if we can talk about it here on the stream, but anyways, she did the deed to a man in the bathroom where she used her mouth, I guess. I don't want to get too vulgar or whatever. And then she got out, and then that dude was friends with me. This was like a long time ago, and he told me, he's like, hey, this and this just happened with me and this girl. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she started talking to my other buddy. And then I saw them, and I was like, oh my God, bro, no way. So I walked up pretty quick. And like right before he was about to put his lips on hers, I like grabbed him, just grabbed his face. And I was like, dude, don't do that because of what just happened in the bathroom. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, there's some wild things that happen at parties. What's the name of this? Worldview. This is called Worldview. Let's see if I can find that. That's what he said it is. I'll share this in the chat somehow. Wingman. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just like I wouldn't be happy with myself if I just like laughed at him. Like that's not a laughing matter. That's like you can't trust that dude. Like if I let that happen, he'd be like, he wouldn't be able to trust me for sure.
Very quickly, that starts getting pretty freaking spicy. Another really interesting view is to see what are the commercial and defense satellites that are flying over Iran right before the first strike happens. So we see the Pleiades Neo.
I don't know how dirty the bathroom was. It was a house party. It wasn't a bar bathroom. So, yeah.
Worldview Legion, Spot satellites, and you'll start seeing lines connect when they actually go over an area of interest. And it might be interesting for us to see what are some of these satellites. So let's look up Persona 3. Persona 3 is a class of Russian high-resolution military surveillance satellites. And what you'll find is this only escalates further. So we got Worldview, which is Maxar Vantor, commercial satellite imagery provider. We've got Gaofen 11. Let's look that one up real quick. So Gaofen 11 and 12 are Chinese high-resolution microwave remote sensing satellites. There's the Worldview constellation again, Worldview Legion. There we got Gaofen 12, the Chinese satellite going over Iran. Directly over the point of interest. We got Capella and
That's the link from this website.
Gaofen. So Capella is a synthetic aperture radar satellite. The thing that was used to like map the stuff below the pyramids that's been going viral. And the cool thing about synthetic aperture radar is like it can see through clouds. So whether you have clouds or not, this thing will penetrate. Pleiades Neo, a really nice European satellite, another Chinese satellite. And so as we get to 0 hour here with the first strike, you'll see a lot of countries are interested in what's going down. Of course, you got the Chinese, we got the Russians, and let's take a second to look at this satellite over here. USA 234 Topaz. Wonder what that is. Oh, that's right. Cool. Very cool. All right, so we have 0 hour strike on the nuclear base in Iran and the Topaz military spy satellites going over. And then right after you have a flurry of activity, the Chinese and the Americans making sure they're imaging what it is they bombed. So my guess is what's happening is the initial satellites are documenting the initial positions, and then right after events start escalating, you've got other satellites imaging what happened after the fact. So what you'll notice as other events pop up on the map, they're typically very closely aligned with satellites flying over. And there we go, Tehran's in internet blackout. But the satellites fly over Iran just continues, especially as you see strikes in other parts of the country.
Gator Chris, maybe that link will work. I don't know.
And by the way, this doesn't include all the other spy satellites because a few of them just aren't tracked, or we only have the last known position for when, you know, the open source folks are actually doing the tracking. And then, and as all the strikes complete, we get a completely new suite. We got the spy satellites going over, we got the commercial satellites, all of them. And by the way, like 90% of the business of most of these commercial satellite providers is the US government. And then it's like companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft for maps and things like this. So very cool. I haven't seen anyone else really correlate satellite flyovers with these type of global events, which makes a ton of sense, right? Like, what are the areas of interest that are being imaged, and what does that tell us about the various sites? So another interesting thing that you'll notice here is, like, obviously we got a bunch of commercial flights, but as GPS jamming intensifies and we get closer towards 0 hour, notice how a bunch of these flights start redirecting. They're just going straight right, like, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. I ain't going that way. But yet there are a few.
We got a flat earther in the chat, bro. I don't know. It could be. You never know.
You brave ones that trudge on. Let's see which ones those are. Let's see. We got THY 631 and VIR 354. And okay, this is. Now we got Tehran in a freaking blackout. And you've still got a bunch of these flights that are stuck in the middle of this all. And these flights that are continuing, they're going full Leroy Jenkins. And this one is Turkish Airlines. They want to get to Turkey, which is on the
Leroy Jenkins, what does that mean? Primarily refers to iconic internet meme originating from a 2005 viral video in the video game World of Warcraft created by, okay. In the clip, Leroy ignores his team's careful strategy to charge into battle alone, shouting his name as a war cry, which results in entire group's defeat. Ah, all right. Makes sense. Let's hear that again.
You got a bunch of these flights, that 631 and VIR 354. And okay, this is... Now we got Tehran in a freaking blackout. And you've still got a bunch of these flights that are stuck in the middle of this all. And these flights that are continuing, they're going full Leroy Jenkins. And this one is Turkish.
That makes sense. Leroy Jenkins.
Airlines. They want to get to Turkey, which is on the other side, which kind of makes sense, right? Like there's a bunch of commercial air traffic and stuff going on over here. But yeah, imagine being on these flights as shit's going down. Oh my God, that has to be absolutely crazy. And meanwhile, all these other flights that we saw that are getting the hell out of Dodge are just happy to be out just in the nick of time before Iran is declared a no-fly zone. Now let's take a look at
Magician. Which video are you talking about? Watch which video?
The various airspaces getting shut down after the first strike happens. Very quickly, you'll see that as soon as Iran's a no-fly zone, Iraq is right next to it, right? Like, they're the next to go down. They're like, holy shit, get the hell out of Dodge. This is about to go crazy. And you'll see Iraq pop up over here. So their airspace is largely cleared out. And then the other Gulf countries.
All right, let's watch the Leroy Jenkins meme. Who's hosting this video, dude? Taking hours. Nope, that one's not working. Same link.
Countries are going to follow suit. So you'll see right as we get to about here, Kuwait closes down its airspace. These are Iran's retaliatory strikes, right? So the US has air bases all over the place, right? Including in Bahrain and Qatar. And you'll see they're going to get targeted next by the Iranis. So there we go. That's the 5th Fleet. That's a military base run by the US that got hit. You get Al Udeid that was hit as well. And with some of the air defense systems, you've got civilian bleed over, right? Like basically crap falling out of the sky in civilian zones. Okay, so as all the airspaces are all shut down, and then Kuwait,
how you doing, Linda,
gets hit. Now this part of the world has some of the busiest commercial air traffic, and you will see a cascading effect as these no-fly zones pop up, right? So Tehran's down at this point. As we mentioned, you got a bunch of the strikes going down. Another interesting thing to see is if we go back to the start, and now I give you a much faster time lapse, basically 15 minutes per second, you can notice how robust the commercial air traffic is between this region, right? This is one of the busiest areas in the world, and you'll see the moment at all these no-fly zones.
By the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat, become a member, help support this channel, and become part of this chat. We got the best chat in the world.
Zones come up. This commercial traffic is going to completely thin out. So look at this, all completely gone. And what's funny is like if I zoom in and actually slow things down, you can see a bunch of planes go into this like holding formation before they figure out where the hell are they supposed to actually go. It's kind of crazy.
That's
wild. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? Oh my God. And then all the airspaces start shutting down. They're like, oh shit, the UAE shut down. Where do we go now? And so they like creep right below between these like no-fly zones and pop out over here. By the way, a bunch of these yellow planes are military planes. So another interesting thing to observe is after the air traffic completely clears out, what about maritime trade, right? Like this is the Gulf region. What happened is essentially the Strait of Hormuz got closed down. Essentially the Islamic Revolutionary Guard was like, yo, this is basically closed. Get the hell out of here. There were reports of some ships being attacked. And by the way, as all these other tankers are clearing out, this is the tanker that actually got hit. Now what's crazy is if I come out to about this zoom level and just play everything at a much faster clip, like a time lapse, if you will, being able to see the GPS jamming intensify. You've got commercial traffic that's like trying to make its way in and immediately starts getting the hell out of Dodge. You've got all the military and commercial satellites that are trying to image the area of interest that's about to get totally bombed. And then suddenly back to back with actual OSINT data, like things happening on the ground, completely correlated, on a 3D globe, seeing all the strikes pan out. Then you go down and see like the Gulf airspace completely get cleared out. And then you get to see the cascading impact of all the other countries around close their airspace. The retaliatory strikes, airspace over here getting closed down. And then of course, when we zoom in, we've got the Gulf of Hormuz over here and the closures that happen. I mean, it's kind of crazy that I'm able to put this stuff together. It was really cool to see folks who worked at Lockheed Martin and DARPA talk about this. And I mean, like, I would echo this too. Like, I spent so many years working on Google Maps, Google Earth, and a bunch of AR 3D platform stuff with so many talented engineers. And I cannot tell you how insane it is that I was able to do this over a freaking weekend.
So somebody asked about the Iranian war. Trump and Xi in Beijing summit this week. No China aid needed, I guess. Iran is going to vow heavy offensive if hit. There's oil spikes. U.S. CPI at 3.8%. Gas is $4.50 plus. Diesel doubles. Qatar slams Iran, weaponizing, extorting. Gulf. Tehran claims upper hand for terms. And Netanyahu destroy uranium stocks first. That's the plan. U.S. inflation surges. There's a 4.6 quake near Tehran. No major damage. And the Hezbollah-Israel clashes persist despite the truce.
Just by myself. And it's interesting, right? Like when I shared my worldview project with the world last week, the response was phenomenal. But it was interesting. Like a lot of people were just saying like Palantir is cooked. And it was to the point where like the Palantir co-founder felt compelled to respond, noting his company's edge and secure large-scale defense integrations with
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Classified data. And that's absolutely true. I mean, like some of the stuff they're doing is phenomenal. And I could only dream of the type of data that they have access to. Like, of course, I don't have the feeds from Fort Meade. And yet it's kind of insane how complete of a picture you can put together without proprietary data fusion, just by taking advantage of the open source intelligence that we all have access to. I mean, to me, this is more compelling than any journalistic coverage that I've seen of the events that are playing out, the order of operations and the cascading impact that it had across the region. I mean, it's kind of nuts. And I'm just one person doing this over the weekend. Holy crap, y'all. We are in a new era. And the response to this has kind of been crazy. Like people on the OSINT side that want this, on the journalism side that want it, folks that just want to monitor the situation on a big ass monitor, kind of like what we're doing right now. What's been particularly crazy is defense tech founders hitting me up, wanting to partner, saying that the capabilities that I'm showing are like leaps and bounds in terms of visualization above systems that the Department of War is buying. Like it's this funny thing where the government has access to some of the most exquisite sensor systems on the planet, like satellites that can literally capture a license plate or your face from space, but the software itself, it sounds like, hasn't completely caught up. But for the rest of us who want to monitor something in the most immersive way possible, feeling like you got access to like a friggin' keyhole satellite or Argus IS overhead imagery system, this is the spot for you. And I'm excited to share, I'll be opening up Worldview in April. So stay tuned for that. Everyone that's been emailing me for access to help out, keep it coming. You can find my email online. And if you haven't seen my previous video about...
There you go. That's so cool. Yeah, he is super excited. Super duper excited. And we ended the poll. Poker Bluff meets Conspiracy Queen. Who folds first? People think Loomer is going to fold first at 55% out of 40 votes. That's a pretty good one. You never know. You never know. But we got one meme for you. This is a pretty funny one for you. This is the Greek Minister of Health having a cigarette in the Ministry of Health on World No Tobacco Day. Is the level of 0 Fs I hope to one day achieve. Can you guys see that okay? Oh man. And then before we end the stream, we gotta give you this. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat if you want, become a member. It helps the channel survive. And this girl is a little bit weird, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can arrange this for you nicely.
Thank you for your support.
Oh, there's
I love
Veronica.
you.
But that's not what we want to talk about. Let's widen this up a little bit for you. There she is. Y'all ready for this? Yo, Gator. About 2.5 hours before this, around there, to 2.5 to 4 hours before this time. Every day of 2026. All right, so this girl is, she looks a little funky, but she's actually extremely smart. Have a listen.
View of Earth. Let's get into it. Your character spawns in with no memory until 4 to 6 years later, and you don't get to pick the level you play at, so your character can randomly start at one of the hardest levels where the other players want you out for no reason. The boss battles are unbeatable because the antagonists are using cheats and then spamming GG easy in the chat afterwards, but you can't use those same cheats because the servers will ban you. The supplies you need to make your character stronger requires too much in-game currency.
Kind of reminds you of a current situation.
And even if you purchase, the products are made cheaply, so as time goes on, you're giving more for less. The antagonists overwork most of the characters to turn them into NPCs who only talk about their jobs or lack
That little bounce is hilarious.
thereof, because they were brainwashed to believe they are only valuable depending on their statuses. And the map you spawn into is uncontrollably being destroyed by the antagonist, and there's nothing the characters can do about it.
There is one good thing about this game, and it's that some of the players are trying to help you win.
Yes, sir. There you go. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to help you guys win. Always trying to help you guys win. Lori says, hi, just so you know, the satellites in space that can read street signs and see faces have been in orbit since the 70s. The cameras on the satellites are smaller than a postage stamp. I highly doubt that, Lori Scott, but thank you for the chat. Highly doubt that. Camera technology has improved tremendously. And if the image sensor is smaller than a postage stamp, I doubt that clarity will be visible. Highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. And we got a troll. Do we have a troll? Gotta show you this troll.
Lost. You from here?
Do what?
You from here?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm trying to find out how to get to Michigan City. Do you know how I would get there?
Take the main road here.
Uh-huh.
There's a bridge up ahead.
Uh-huh.
Just to the left of the courthouse.
Dude just drives off while the guy's giving him directions. All right, one more before I go to sleep. One more. All right, one more before we go on, before I end the stream. All right, so this is the same guy, and he's over here on the left, and there's two older ladies to the right, and just the words that come out of these ladies' mouths is just absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. Some ladies are just so funny with their words.
I'm just trying to find the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
You would think they'd have them on every corner. I'm gonna keep looking, ladies.
That's rude. But these two ladies they get the W. They're just absolutely hilarious. All right, y'all. I love you. The Lord loves you. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Yeah, and if people are drinking that haterade, just let that hate roll off your back like water rolls off of a duck's back. All right, Captain Blackbird. See ya. See everybody. Take care. Thank you for the super chat, Gator Chris. Thank you all. Thank you all. Until next time, Alex. Thank you, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yeah, we're in the Discord too. So if you guys want to keep that combo going in the Discord, feel free.